Yes, happy Christmas. Everybody, happy Christmas. How are we doing? Wherever you are, whoever you're spending today with, forgive me for having red in the jumper. I know some people find that really offensive. Grown adult wears red. Oh, he can't because Arsenal are red. I mean, forgive me. But Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Look, we've even got the snowy background for you, courtesy of Sue's Perchie's better half, who made this a couple of years ago for us. Big up to each and every one of you. Obviously, I'm aware that Christmas Day means different things to different people. Some people have got, hang on, I'm having a nightmare here. Look, my camera's not level and anything. There we go. I know Christmas Day is different for different people, right? Some people have loads of family around them, and it's just presents galore and food galore, and other people are probably left a little bit on their own. So if you are on your own, use this hour or so as someone to talk to. Hey, how you doing? While I'm doing this, the house is getting very Christmassy. There is meat just getting prepared. The table is laid. We are hosting. Look at that bit of hair. That's annoying, isn't it? Oh God, look, you see that? What a bit of Christmas spirit there from my hair. So look, good morning to you all. We'll talk about football in a minute, but right now, let me know, has anyone opened any presents? Has anyone got what they wanted? What is it that you wanted? How old are you? That will tell me whether or not your present is suitable for someone of your age. Will Tottenham get any presents? Who knows? What did you do last night? Is anyone nursing a hangover? What time do you all eat? All of the Christmas questions. All of the Christmas questions. Let me try and answer some of those for myself. Last night, stayed in. We watched a crap Christmas film, followed by Love Actually, which, I mean, you can't go wrong, right? You know, it's a great film. Followed by 21 Jump Street, which has nothing to do with Christmas. And then bed. Woke up this morning, ready to go, ready to host. And we're eating at around 5. Now, I think this is a little bit late, but it's also not the end of the world, is it? Some people are saying they eat at about 3 p.m. Other people do eat at lunchtime. Like, I don't know if I could have a full-on roast at lunchtime. Big up to each and every one of you. It's so funny. Like, all the alerts on my phone still go off football-wise. And like, I'm seeing these alerts today from you know, the kind of well-known ITK people, and you're thinking, it's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day, and they're spreading transfer gossip. But the transfer window does open a week today, doesn't it? If I'm not wrong. Somebody will correct me on that. Does the transfer window open a week today? Next Thursday? Oh, God. How many days until the 1st of January? Yeah, I'm right, yeah? Yeah, a week today, right? So I guess the rumours have to rumour. The rumours have to rumour. Absolutely, Paul. The clickbait don't stop for Christmas. The clickbait does not stop for Christmas. And we all know this is a really interesting window, right? This is a really interesting window. I'm seeing this morning that Oscar Bob is being linked with Dortmund amongst other teams. So it would make sense. Semenyo's going to City. Oscar Bob's going to be going somewhere else. Now, I don't think Oscar Bob will be the one for Spurs. I feel we need a little bit more experience than that. But hey, who am I? I'm a Spurs fan. I can't turn down people like Oscar Bob when I'm watching people like Matisse Tell and Odeber. Happy Christmas to Tell and Odeber, by the way. And this. Yes, there is one Premier League game tomorrow, isn't there? Let's have a look. Is it just the Premier League that's not on tomorrow? Yeah, you got 12 Championship games, 12 League One, 12 League Two, 1 Premier League game. I used to love a Boxing Day. You know, you got all your food left over from the day before. So literally anyone who's on any sort of diet or healthy scheme or just eats healthily, doesn't matter over Christmas Day and Boxing Day. I just remember used to get loads of boxes of Heroes and Celebrations and Quality Streets, cold meats, roast potatoes from the day before. And you'd sit and watch you'd sit and watch football, wouldn't you? And no, there's one game on tomorrow, which is an 8 p.m. game between Man United and Newcastle. So for those people that like to go out on a Friday night, they've got no football to watch on the Boxing Day. And to make it worse, there's 7 Premier League games on Saturday. We're not playing till Sunday. But it is what it is. It is what it is, as people would say. And it is Christmas Day. So the players should be allowed time off as well. I know we think that they're machines that just have to keep going because they're multimillionaires. But yeah, they are allowed a bit of festive time off. I love this. Jason, I love this. I'm a Rasta. Love that, Jason. Just relax, teenage children doing their ting. Jason, do you know the drink ting? My mate drinks Ray and Nephew with ting. Not many places sell it. Do you know ting? It is a Rasta thing, isn't it? Let me know. Ting is like for anyone who doesn't know, it's like a lilt type of drink. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Yeah. So look, I don't know. Look, the transfer rumors will continue, won't they, for Christmas Day? Excuse me, I've got a really bad throat and really bad cough at the moment that I'm trying to suppress for this stream. But the rumors will continue. I guess the problem that you've got is when the transfer window is so close to Christmas Day, it's just going to keep going, isn't it? And going and going. Dave, in bed with the worst flu I've ever had. Floored me completely. Oh, mate. Sort of COVID settings. Hope you get better soon, my man. Not the best day to be laying down doing nothing. But big up to you. I hope you get better soon. Happy Christmas to you. And hopefully you weren't in charge of cooking for the family or hosting or something like that. Ting is like little but is gross. Yeah, listen, I didn't say it. Listen, I've had it before, but not really my thing, but apparently it complements Ray and Nephew, which is a 65% alcohol, 45%. I don't know, yeah, Romano has tweeted. Stanley. Sorry, 1 second. Stanley's been naughty. Stanley. 1 second. I don't trust him. Stanley. Come here. Go and ask Mummy for your Christmas bow tie. Oh, sorry. I heard him. You know when your dog's got something and you just know they've taken it away because they know they're not meant to have it. So like if they have a toy and they play with a toy in front of you, you know they're allowed that toy. If they've taken something from the house they're not allowed, he will go to another room and try and hide it. Luckily, that was an empty packet of paracetamol, which was getting put in the bin. But yeah, can you imagine? Anyway, happy Christmas to each and every one of you. Can we see Stanley? You can see Stanley when he comes back up here. He's just run downstairs away from me. And I think he's getting his Christmas bow tie put on this morning. So yeah, what do you do? I don't know what to say. Yeah, guys, it was interesting. I was watching the Thomas Frank interview yesterday that they put out on Sky Sports, and it was quite interesting because he said he turned around and he said, "Look, the difference here at Tottenham at the moment for me is," he said, "it's a group of players I don't know. I've come into that I don't know," and he said the difference was when we bought players in to Brentford, we brought them into a well-oiled engine that they built. And there's a lot to be said for that, right? There's a lot to be said. And I know lots of football fans don't want to hear that, but there's a lot to be said. And it's why Tottenham never, ever do well. We don't build anything. And, you know, I when I watched that, I thought to myself, yeah, there's a lot to be said. And again, I'll let you lot argue about whether or not he's the right man for that. But at some stage, you need to have that well-oiled engine so that when new players join the club, they are joining something that already works. The problem is at the moment, and this is why I think it's so simplistic when people say we bought 4 first-team players, but they've joined a team that has no system, no setup, no ethos, no structure. So that's something that needs to be created, whether that's Frank or someone else. That's going to need to be created, right? So I get a lot of messages on YouTube, loads of messages, right? And loads of the idiot messages come through. They go, just admit you're wrong about Frank. And I always turn around and say, well, hang on, what's the one thing I wanted in the summer? I wanted Frank to be given time, transfer windows, and to develop a squad. So when people are saying, just admit you're wrong, what am I wrong about? I never once said Thomas Frank in 4 months will have Spurs, the finished article, and look really good. So we need time. We need to develop. Unfortunately, we all know, right, that football fans don't live in this space. And that's why when I'm on panel shows, like, I'll be honest, when I'm on the show the other day and I got, Sean says to me, yeah, we bought 4 first-team players everyone was happy with. And it's like, yeah, but that's not just how football clubs work. Yeah. If you are joining a very settled team, you're good, you're okay. But just bringing in players that might be better than what you've got, but with no real plan is really difficult. And that's why for me, I want to see the manager given time. Doesn't mean I don't think he'll go if the results are poor. If the results are poor, the results are poor. But I really, really hope at some stage we give the manager time to build, to grow, and to put something together. Hopefully to put something together that when we go and sign players, they know what they're joining, right? And at the moment, I feel like this might be a difficult couple of windows coming up. Although we need to see green shoots, I think it's going to be a difficult couple of windows because players are coming into a club that has just been like that, just chopping and changing and chopping and changing. And look, I as I said, I always try to have the sensible conversation. Unfortunately, YouTube now it's become a little bit childish, hasn't it? So when I get the comments that go, oh, God, Sav's sticking up for Frank. Well, I don't think it's about sticking up for Frank. It's about, I would like my football club at some stage to have a plan and stick to it. And unfortunately, you have got, as I said, the people like Marios that think that you can be really bad for years and years and years, and then a manager comes in and we're great. And I don't think these fans quite understand. I would hate for any of these people to own a company. I would absolutely hate for any of them to own a company because their expectations of their staff, can you imagine, would just be awful. That, I think it's a dose of reality that should have hit Spurs fans this year. And it's so funny, isn't it? When people say, oh, you were completely wrong. Isn't this everything I said in the summer? 1, we need time and patience. 2, it's going to take 3 or 4 years, 6, 7, 8 windows. 3, don't expect miracles. 4, don't think we did enough in the transfer window. So I always find it funny when people just come on and say, I gutted, you were wrong. And I'm like, wrong about what? Like, how could you possibly be wrong about this after 4 months? It's going to take time. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. And look, I feel like the easy thing to do, I see a lot of YouTubers have done this now. The easy thing to do was to go, yeah, Thomas Frank, you can't manage a club the size of Spurs. The size of what? The size of what? This is a club that hasn't won a league since 1961. I mean, off the top of my head, what's that? 66 years ago. So we haven't won a league for 66 years. This is a club that don't win Champions Leagues. This is a club that don't sign top-level footballers. So when we're saying, oh, he hasn't managed a big club, I don't think we're the big club that people think we are yet. And that's what we need to build towards. That's what we need to grow towards. And I think I was saying this to my uncle the other day. I think that as I've got a bit older, I think like the calmness in it is like kind of like you get to know and understand what Tottenham are. So I get it. A lot of the children just say things like, get him out. And you're like, cool, okay, what's the plan? Oh, it don't matter, just get him out. Cool, all right. And the problem is they'll expect miracles, right, from the next guy. They will. Whoever the next guy is, they're going to expect miracles from. Those fans that think we should be top four will again judge a new manager by why isn't he fourth yet? And it's unrealistic expectations. It's not reality. And unfortunately, that's where we are. And I know people don't want to have that chat. I get it. I see loads of Spurs YouTubers. They go around these panel shows. Everyone's in the mud and you're wrong, you're right. And I find it all very childish. I think these people have got to know where we are. It's difficult, right? Because when you look at last year, we hit rock bottom in terms of Premier League, right? I mean, we couldn't have been any lower without being relegated. Then you mix that in with the euphoria of winning the Europa League. And I think it's kind of left a lot of fans feeling very conflicted and confused about what are we? What are we? Where should we be? But when you actually look at our average league position since Potter's gone, it's 8th. It's not, we're not that top 4 club. If you actually look at the points we have been getting year on year, it's gone down and down and down and down, like on average. And I think that there are those of you, there's some very switched on people in the chat that get it. I think they get where we are, what we are. And there are others that just say things like, but have you seen anything that says we should back him? Well, isn't the whole point of backing people so you can see what they can do? I mean, if you give them one summer window where you've bought in 2 loans and 2 permanent transfers, what is it that you're expecting of a football club, right? I genuinely don't know what you're expecting. And, I think if a manager had come in the summer, forget whether it's Frank or not, and picked up a team who finished in the top 4, then right now you would have every right to say, why aren't we back up there? But unfortunately, he hasn't. He's picked up an absolute mess. And I genuinely think there's a lot of people who clickbait. There's a lot of people who say these things. There are a lot of people, they're pretending they're not Frank out. They're everything Frank out. They just won't say it. And they won't say it. We know why they won't say it, because if it turns around, they then got to backtrack and go, oh, I told you he's got to play like this, and stop doing this. I've been in this YouTube game way too long. I watch YouTubers and go, I know exactly what you're doing. As I've said, results will dictate. At the same time that managers need time, the results will dictate whether or not you are sacked. And look, I think the difficulty with the league at the moment is 1 win, you're straight back into the top 10, 1 defeat, you're closer to relegation. I think if it gets really bad, then we're going to see the manager changed, and then good luck to the next manager. But as I said, I think Spurs fans need to understand how far we've fallen in this last 4, 5, 6 years. I don't think they understand the constant changing of managers, what it does to a football club. Oh my God, that is amazing. Thank you. Has he got his bow tie on yet? Nanny, ask Mummy for your bow tie. Oh, sorry. I've got a really bad throat and a cough. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I've got a nice Beecham's blackcurrant drink with honey. All tickly. Yeah. And as I said, I don't think, I find what I do find funny about it is the number, especially YouTubers. I'll say about YouTube. It's funny how they've all seen how bad we've been for years, but expect the manager to come in and have 4 months, and we go, oh my God, this is amazing. It's funny because depending if you like the manager or not will depend how much time you're going to give them. Now, I'm old and ugly enough to know that managers won't have, an infinitive amount of time. Of course, they're not. They're going to be judged. But I would also like to think that at some stage, somebody coming into this club is going to be given time and money to really put together a group of players that, 1, want to be at Tottenham Hotspur, 2, understand the manager, and 3, so that we can build something. Now, what I will say is this, right? Not what I'm saying is this. It doesn't necessarily mean that every manager is the manager. I see this being talked about a lot. Is he the guy? The guy for what? You know, people always ask that question to me. Do you think Thomas Frank is the guy? And I'm like, for what? Do I think Thomas Frank is the guy that's going to win you titles and Champions Leagues? No. No. Do I think Spurs are anywhere near that? No. So for me, that's not where we're at. And again, this is, I think, the mistake we made. If you look at the times in this football club, right, it's baffling. The times we decided to bring in Conte and Jose, who were winners, serial winning winners, was when Spurs were in a mess. And that's the problem. You bring these managers in when we're a mess, and people say, Savage, you didn't want Conte. No, because he was completely the wrong fit for what we needed at the time, right? Completely the wrong fit. Now, when I would have given the job to someone like a Conte or a Jose, would have been the seasons when you finished second or third under Poch. Now, I know people go mad. They go, oh, how could you get rid of a manager at that stage? This is what the big clubs do, right? The big clubs, when they're second, third, whatever, right? They will bring in a big manager and let that manager build on top of what is a very good squad. And that's what we should have done, in my opinion, at the time when we were finishing second and third. Because I think Poch is a good manager. I don't think he's the manager that's ever going to get you over the line. So for me, it's interesting, isn't it? Because what I get thrown at me a lot is, but Ange, you never gave Ange this chance. Well, first and foremost, Ange had 400 million, 4 transfer windows and 2 years. Second of all, if you play gung-ho football every single week, I don't want you. That's just the way it is. And the thing is, what we saw was he never developed that over time. Now, this is the same with Frank. I want to see more attacking football, and I want him to develop that over time when he gets more players and more signings. And this is why I find it quite funny when you get the silly childish people going, well, you didn't with Ange, So, well, take a step back and think why. Take a step back and think why. So for me, Frank could be the guy before the guy before the guy, or the guy before the guy. But you just don't know. But we're so stuck in this computer game culture, aren't we? We're stuck in this computer game culture where people go, is he the right guy to win things right now? Who is? We're not in the Europa League now. We're in the Champions League. Right? We're in the Champions League and the Premier League. We're not in any sort of position to attack those tournaments. We're not in any sort of position to do that. So, who asked me the other day? I was on the Spurs 5 and Stella asked me the question, didn't he? He said, in your opinion, is Thomas Frank the right guy? And I'm like, for what? For what? Was Conte the right guy or Jose the right guy to win you things? You would always say yes. But at Tottenham at the time, and this is why I can always tell who listens to me and who doesn't. Properly listens versus snapshots. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I feel rough. Yeah, rough. This is just an act. As soon as the camera goes off, I'll go like that. No, not quite that bad. So just really rough and gruff and throat hurts. And this is why I can't tell who listens and who actually doesn't, right? Because people that go, oh, you didn't want Conte because of the football. Well, it wasn't just the football that I didn't like about Conte. It was that he was never the right man at the right time. He turned us down in the summer. Then he came and joined us 3 months later, which I thought was a bit fishy. He signed an 18-month contract. And I thought, okay, well, this tells you that the club and him have not thought about the long-term strategy. And again, anyone who listens to me, I talk about long-term strategy. I want a strategy. So when people were going, Conte, I'm like, well, you brought him in for 18 months. We all knew what was going to happen. I think deep down, you all knew, I knew, that he would blow it up from the inside out, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in terms of telling the truth, getting it out there. But he was never the right guy. So, can I put up with Conte's tactics to win titles? Yeah. Were Tottenham going to win titles? No. Right? Can I put up with Conte in general? Yes. But has to be the right time. Same with Jose. I love Jose as a manager. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. And again, we brought him in as the Poch team was doing that. And then you're going, okay, right, well, what are you going to give Jose to succeed? And what did they give him? I mean, Matt Doherty, Joe Hart, Joe Roden, right? Like you look around and you go, well, what have you've gone and got one of the greatest managers of all time and given him very underwhelming footballers after having a good period of football at Spurs for 4 or 5 years under Pochettino. And this is my problem. And this is why when people are talking about the immediate, they don't listen. And that's why I get really frustrated. So I apologize if I'm ever frustrated or say things. It's I want Spurs to be playing free flowing, attacking, tick attack and football like everybody else. I would love it. Right? I want Spurs to win Premier Leagues like everybody else. But I've just got to the stage where if at some stage, right? If at some stage Spurs don't settle into some sort of pattern, if we do not allow a manager to build and grow, right? Now it doesn't mean they get as much time as they want, but if we're going to say that that's after 4 months, and it's funny, I'm seeing people going, "Oh, he can't control these players, he can't do this." Well, we said this with Conte towards the end of his era when the players were acting out. We said this with Jose. Oh, he can't control them. They've down tools. He's not a Spurs manager. We said this with Ange. He can't control the players. Now I'm seeing the same thing again. Oh, but this club's too big. He can't control the players. But yet when you bring up, could it be that it's the players and the players we're buying? No, it's not that. It's not that. And again, that's not me saying Thomas Frank is definitely the right man, but I think our fan base don't really know what we are as a football club. I truly don't believe we know what we are. And I think that's pretty much it, right? Like we went and got a couple of class managers, didn't give them what they need, but can we give them what they need? And this is now a different segment to the conversation, right? Like, can we go and get the players that Jose or Conte would want? I don't think so. I don't think we can. People were going, oh, Bastoni. Sorry, who in their right mind thought Bastoni was joining Tottenham Hotspur? You know, who and we got people going, Levy didn't get Bastoni. Well, no, of course Levy didn't get Bastoni because Bastoni said he didn't want to join Tottenham Hotspur. Now, that doesn't mean you let Levy offer others he didn't get. Doesn't mean you let him offer players he's failed to get over the line. But this is what I mean. You know, I had the conversation yesterday, didn't I, with Lubo and Sean and those guys. And like Sean was saying, and I made him right, like, the expectation versus what we're capable of are two very different things. But then you've got people that just say, put the money down or show ambition. That's great. But there's a level to the ambition that Tottenham can show, right? There's a level of the ambition. We are, as I said, as I said, listen, guys, I used to really enjoy YouTube. I did. Now it's just become, every time it's just become about manager v manager v manager, and it's like, oh, but you said this about Ange. It's like, yeah, but he's gone. He's gone. Can we move on? Can we move on? There's when he's not coming back, he's gone, and yet still, I get hundreds of messages a week going, bring back Ange, and you're like, because we've started this season poorly, it's kind of made a revisionist memory for people of how. Thinking it wasn't as poor as it was last season and for the second half of the first season. And this is why when people go, oh, you're just forgetting the fifth. I'm not forgetting the fifth. But if you look at trends, every 6 months, we were just going downhill. Every 6 months, we were going downhill. Now, this 6 months, well, it's not been 6 months yet, at the moment is better than the last 6 months. Now, not by a lot, but it's a little bit better. But no one talks about that, because they remember winning the Europa League. They don't remember how bad it was for 18 months in the Premier League. And it's so funny that those same people that would back that because of the Europa League run now want this guy gone. And it's madness. It's absolutely madness. Rob, completely agree with you. I'm bored of it. Listen, right? Thomas Frank will get sacked if performances don't improve. We know that. We know that. But that's a separate conversation to, okay, well, what happens next? Because I feel we're going to be here again. I feel we're going to be here again. And I don't know the manager, guys. I don't know the manager. I look out there in the world right now and go, good luck. Good luck to anybody coming into this setup with the fans feeling the way they feel. Because what I hear a lot is, honestly, when I'm on these YouTube shows, I hear, oh, but if it was Xavi Hernandez, he'd have the respect to the players, and everything would be great, and he'd attract better. I mean, we heard this under Jose, didn't we? We heard this under Conte, and it never materialized. But we never want to ask ourselves why. And do you know what? I'm not going to mention names, but someone who is not a YouTuber messaged me and actually put me right on something I said, and I thank them for it. They said, right, what you said the other day on the Spurs 5, they said was right, but you said it wrong. And I thought, oh, it's interesting. What? And it was, well, I know I said the one consistent is the players. He said, what you should have said was it's the consistent level of players that we buy. That's the one consistent. And I thought, yeah, he's right. He's right. So the players do change, but the one thing is the level of the players is consistently remaining the same. And that person knows who he is. I don't know if he's watching, but that's a really good point, isn't it? Is we can change managers, but if we're not going to change the level of players, then it doesn't matter, does it? For anyone who's just coming in, happy Christmas to you all. Sorry, I've got a cold and a cough and a sniffly nose and everything going on. Yes, my jumper is blue and red. Sorry, but I am also a 43-year-old man. I don't wear clothes based on the colour of Arsenal or Tottenham. Sorry, I'm not a child. So, look, I guess the point is this, is I get it. We're always going to have people to come in. Look, we all know the same 50 odd people that will come in the moment Spurs concede a goal. We know who they are. We know what they say. We also know the people that are here always constantly. We also know, right, what we are as a club. Deep down, we all know what we are. We can pretend like somebody like, listen, I love Lupo, but he's so stuck in the past of what Spurs were in the 60s that he's not realizing we're not that football club. We haven't been for 60 odd years. So we are for me, I think we're a good football club that can't keep up with the big clubs. And unfortunately, that's where we are. But because of that, we need a plan. Sometimes the big clubs can get themselves out of trouble because they can go and buy big. They can go and buy big and get themselves out of trouble. Spurs can't. We need a plan. We need something that we look at and go, right, okay, this is going to take 3-4 years. This is what it needs to look like by year 1, by year 2, by year 3. This is the caliber of players we need to go each time, right? But if we're expecting miracles every 6 months from a new manager, we're never, ever going to hit that. And that's why to round this off, as I said, I watched the interview with him yesterday with Thomas Frank, and he said, you know, when I'm bringing players in here, they're not joining a settled team. When I brought players in at Brentford, they were joining a well-oiled engine. And I thought that he's not wrong. But people who don't like him don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. I've seen all these people get upset because he said we're going to win, lose, and draw. Oh, I don't want to hear that we're going to lose games. Well, you are. Get over it. Grow up. You're going to lose games. I would rather my manager is honest with me rather than tells me we're challenging for a title. It's pie in the sky. It's not hope. It's not belief. It's delusion. There's a huge line between hope and delusion, right? There's a huge line. So, as I said, we're all going to find out. The window opens in 7 days. The window opens in 7 days, doesn't it? And we're going to find out what's the plan. Have they managed to go and get a few big players, maybe on loan, that aren't getting game time to steady the ship? I don't know. Somebody messaged me last night and said, can you imagine that Spurs went in the January window and bought in a few loans that was Ter Stegen, Goretzka. I knew it. Lubo's messaged me. No, see, he don't get it. He don't. Sorry, Lubo. I'm not agreeing with it. We're not the big club you think we are. Sorry, we never have been. We never have been. Somebody said to me, imagine, and again, just hypothetically, imagine Spurs went out and loaned Gallagher, Goretzka, Ter Stegen. Think what that does around the club. You completely change your midfield. Winners, leaders, senior pros, experience. You change your goalkeeper that helps the back four. And everything changes. But have we got the know-how? Do we know how to shuffle our cards in the transfer market and make signings like that? I'm not saying it has to be those three, by the way. That was just an example. Do we have that? Now, ideally, you'd want to be buying them in. I'm just saying, maybe a few players to steady the ship. Maybe. I don't know. Do we? Does Lang have that in him? Does Paratici have that in him? I saw a post yesterday from somebody who said, Paratici's a world-class operator. Cool. Well, let's see it then. You know, we got a lot of fans that talk about what's great, but when we've never had the evidence to show it. Get a lot of people going to me, our players are so much better than this. Based on what? The evidence doesn't show it. So let's see it. Let's see it. Romero's world-class. Cool. Why? Why is he world-class? Romero has shit game, good game. Shit game, good game. Shit game, good game. Right? That's what we do, don't we? We have those players. But instead of saying that he's a good player, we all go mad, don't we? We put them there. We put them right up there. And listen, it is what it is. I can't believe we've had a troll come in on Christmas Day. So sad, isn't it, really? Really, really sad. Really sad. Let me just see. Hang on 1 second. So weird. So weird. Anyway, so listen, so for me, look, I wouldn't change anything this year. I would get this season out of the way. As somebody who has supported Spurs for a very long time, as I'm sure many of you have, a bad season at Spurs isn't something we can't live with. As long as we see some green shoots. I think that's the important thing for me for the second half of this season. Have a good transfer window. Let's start seeing some green shoots. Let's hopefully get Coglou back fit. Let's see if we can get Maddison back for the last couple of months of the season. And then can we go again in the summer with a plan? Now, like many of you, I question whether or not we've got that about us as a club. I would love to be 100% wrong. I would love to be 100% wrong with that. Will I be? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, this is the sort of thing we do, right? This is the sort of thing we do. Harry Gray. I mean, and then everyone will start telling you, but he's better than his brother. It's not difficult to be better than Archie, is it? But anyway, this is what we do. I hope this isn't the case. We don't need any more. We don't need any more. No more. Sean put it right yesterday. He said, let's stop worrying about tomorrow until we've dealt with today. Something along those lines, he said. And what he means is let's stop worrying about buying players for tomorrow. This is the sort of player I think would be a good signing. Yao Gomez from Wolves, very good footballer. Far too good for that level for me. So, very, very good footballer. I would definitely take a Yao Gomez. And again, I think it's one of those players where fans will go, oh, God, buying him from Wolves. But it's a sensible signing. And that's the sort of signing that we don't make that Newcastle and Villa do, right? Sensible signings, good solid pros. It's the sort of thing we don't do. We seem to go for youth-centric that have never done anything in football, or really lazy appointments. That for me would be a really good, sensible signing. And again, I don't think we can attract the world's best, but can we attract sensible signings? We absolutely should be able to. Yeah, sure. We absolutely should be able to. And as I said, I like Yao Gomez, very comfortable on the ball, good passer, dictates the tempo of play, always wants the ball, always available for the ball, drops into those half spaces. And that's what I think we need. And that's why when we overrate players, I'm seeing everyone sit there and constantly tell me Sar's got to play, or Bergvall, or Gray, or Bentancur, or Tell, or Odegaard, or Richie, or Johnson. Like, now, isn't it funny now? I'm seeing everyone now suddenly, well, Frank doesn't play Johnson. He was our top goal scorer last year. Is that where we're at? Is that really where we're at? Johnson. Brennan Johnson is where we're at. Last year, the very same fans, Johnson's crap, can't believe he's playing. Look at the level we've bought. We've bought really poorly. This year, Johnson should play. Really? Why? We will see. We will see what happens. Anyway, good morning. Has anyone? I'll tell you what I find interesting is people have asked me, like, what present have you got? And I'm not a big present person, by the way, but first and foremost, who's opening their presents this early? Who do people open their presents this early? I mean, let me know in the chat who's open presents. I'm going to open presents till this afternoon, early evening. They just sit there and they're for showing off. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I would really love, by the way, all I want to see is let the manager get his players. And you know what? If he gets in his players, builds his team, and we go, this is shit, fair. You've had a full crack. But don't give him 2 permanent signings and 2 loan signings and say, this is crap. Like, that's all it is. Wow. So Julian said he's done the presents with the kids already. Fair play to you. What time are we doing presents? Whenever they get here. Brilliant. That's brilliant. Whenever they get here, we're doing presents. Stanley, where is your bow tie? The people want to see the bow tie on Stanley. Come on, Stanley. Go and get your bow tie. He's got this really cute little bow tie that he puts on. It's lovely. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, the kids won't wait for the evening. Yeah, no, I get it. Presents done already. Okay, so lots of people have done their presents. I don't have children, so I don't really know what time kids do all that kind of stuff and yada yada yada. But yeah, do you know what I find funny about Christmas is because I watch a lot of sport, as you can imagine, and then if not, I'm watching box sets. But when you've got a house full of people, I never know what quite to have on in the background. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you just let Sky Sports News roll in the background? Do you have MTV with Christmas songs? I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? By the way, I really hope for any of you that are alone this Christmas, please pop down to your local church or to your local community centre. They'll have activities going on and stuff. Please don't, there's always a solution. There is always a solution. Your mum is making you a prawn cocktail. I would say that sounds lovely, apart from the fact that I don't like prawns. But lovely. You've done your presents. Everyone's done their presents by 10 to 11. I'm always about to say my wife's name and then never say it just because. Yeah, everyone's done their presents. She's just ignoring me. She's okay. She's just ignoring me. Savile, we need on the Terry show again. Oh, the rage. No, mate, no, because that's the sort of setting I didn't start YouTube for, my man. It's I wanted to have just normal football conversation where everything wasn't about How can you mud someone else? How can you cook someone else? I just find all of that. I've done it for years. It's just gone out of me now. Just found it a little bit boring. I don't want to go on panel shows. And like, it's funny, I'll go on panel shows. So I'm going to go, I gutted Spurs lost. I'll be like, yeah, we were really bad. It was so I had gutted you in the mud. No, I just said that we weren't very good. Yeah, but you're in the mud. You're in the mud. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm in the mud. I don't know. I don't know what this means these days in the world. You're in the mud because you said your team might win a game and didn't. It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. Thoughts on Dewsbury Hall? I don't mind Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Dewsbury Hall moves the needle, but he's a decent footballer. Again, for me, I think you need to be looking at the next level up to a Dewsbury Hall, but he's a good footballer. I put Dewsbury Hall in the same bracket as a Harry Wilson. Good player, like watching them. They always do well. I'm not sure whether or not that would take us higher than where we need to be. However, I guess this comes down to if the manager really wants the player and targets that player. But yeah, look, he has just moved to Everton, so I don't see that. I mean, feel free to chuck players at me. Feel free to chuck players at me that you want an opinion of, or my opinion of. But again, good player. I guess you have to ask yourself, what position would he play? Does he move the needle? That's what Frank said, right? He wants footballers that move the needle. Now, I don't think it's going to be difficult to move the needle with the caliber of this squad. But again, no, I didn't. I would love Adam Wharton. Can Spurs go and spend 80, 90 million on him to get him? There's the question. There is the question. So again, everybody, as I said, when people like Matt lie, what I shut Matt down with Wharton was Spurs are not going to go and spend 100 million to go and get him. Would I love Adam Wharton? Of course. So please, again, everyone, don't let Matt, again, he can't even come in and say Happy Christmas. He's just such a contrarian. So by the way, people, you're hearing it from me, not him. I love Adam Wharton. Would love him in the team. Have Spurs got it in them to go and get him? Because that's going to cost a bomb. Have we got it? Now, I've got a feeling with Adam Wharton, the same thing is going to happen as with an Eze or Semenyo. I truly believe that if Adam Wharton goes on this market, I think you will see the likes of Man United want him, Liverpool want him. I think Chelsea might. I think there will be big clubs that go in for Adam Wharton. So yes, absolutely. Don't let anyone tell you. I'm telling you out of my mouth. I would love Adam Wharton. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. One, have Spurs ever put money down like that for any player? I've not seen it yet. Two, would there be bigger clubs going in for him? I think there might be. Now, if there's not, all day long. If there is, unfortunately, it's going to be another Eze or Semenyo where people need to realise where we are in the pecking order. But this is a talented English player. Now, the reason why the English part is important, I don't care about players' nationalities, but clubs will because of the homegrown aspect. Apparently, the rumours are that Man United want Wharton, right? And Man United are a big football club. Their name, their history, they are still a big draw. Now, I saw the other day someone said that was it Chelsea or Liverpool? Someone wanted Wharton. I can't remember who it was. Look, so again, please, if do me a favor, guys. If ever you see people lie like Matt out there on channels, ask me. Just ask me. I'll be brutally honest with you. Don't want people misconstruing what I've said. Would love Adam Wharton. Just don't see it happening. Anderson. A lot of people are talking about Anderson in the chat. I would love Anderson. What are the relations between Spurs and Nottingham Forest after the window? Yeah. What are the relationships like between Nottingham Forest and Spurs? I don't know. Do Forest care if they're getting a big sum of money? Does Anderson want to leave? If Anderson leaves, will he get? Come here, Stewie. Come here. 1 second, people. Come here. No, come here. Oh, she didn't even leave you any treats. Stewie, you got your bow tie on. Oh, look. Stewie's little Christmas bow tie. Oh, Stewie. Stanley going for walkies. Stanley going for his walkies. He's got to stay with his daddy. So yeah, so again, I think the problem we have with people like Matt is they don't understand. I get it. They've grown up in this era where unfortunately they've not been taught context. So just saying to me, do I want Adam Wharton? Yes. Now let's have the conversation around, is he available and who else wants him? Now, the difference between someone like me and Matt is I've got the maturity to have that conversation, and he just thinks you can buy whoever you want. Now, that doesn't mean we can't get Wharton, but does he want to come to us? Will he have other suitors? How much is Crystal Palace going to charge for him? All of these things that we talk about every transfer window that all the fans ignore and say, just put the money down. They always ignore it, right? But this is not Football Manager. This is not Football Manager. And unfortunately, there's too many kids that play it like Matt. They play Football Manager. They play FIFA. They buy whoever they want and then go, Spurs should do that. It's like, sure, go and work for a football club and see if it's that easy, right? And it's funny, isn't it? Because the very same person that says Conor Gallagher isn't a needle mover, right, is talking to you about Dewsbury Hall and Tyler Dibbling, right? Like, so you've got to listen. This is how you know. Whatever I say, he says the opposite. Whatever I say, you're a troll. You're a troll. Have a good Christmas and all that, but you're a troll. You always have been, right? So for me, listen, whatever Spurs go and do, I just want to see that there's a plan in doing it. Right? We can argue all day long about the players, right? But isn't it mad, right? And Angus, this is it, right? Angus, this is it. Conor Gallagher, who plays for Atletico Madrid, isn't a needle mover. These people don't understand, Angus, that you need a squad. So notice what he did. No, we need a Neves. For me, we need a Neves and a Gallagher and a Stiller. And but again, we think in ones, in singulars. We need that one player. I think we need a whole new midfield. I think Spurs need a whole new midfield. So for me, you've got to buy all sorts of different personality traits. Not just, I've said all year, we have to have a ball-playing midfielder, like a Ruben Neves, like a Stiller, like a Wharton. Absolutely. Doesn't mean I don't think we need other profiles of players as well. Unfortunately, and then I'll tell you what, let's sum up this guy. He thinks Conor Gallagher plays like Paulinho. I mean, that if ever somebody was stupid, it's this. Conor Gallagher plays nothing like Paulinho at all. This is, look, then we got Gallagher ain't good enough. Look at, guys, as I said, look at our fan base. Gallagher isn't good enough. We are watching Archie Gray, Papa Sarr, Bergvall and Bentancur. Right? Now, let me dismiss this guy, right? This is how you know another troll. In his last 2 seasons in the Premier League, Conor Gallagher was in the top 5 metric for every single data point for midfielders. Let that sink in. For a guy with no attributes, he was top 5 in terms of goals, assists, carrying the ball, work rate, distance covered, tackles, interceptions, headers, recoveries. He was in the top 5 of everything. Right? Everything. Right? But unfortunately, we have people that don't understand football. He wanted Tyler Dibbling. He wants Archie Gray to start every game. This is where we are. And absolutely an engine that we need. A captain that we need. It is mental. And absolutely, he's a box-to-box midfielder. I don't know how these people aren't watching that and understanding. We're a very funny group of people. And as I said, people like that don't understand Tottenham Hotspur and what we need. in the one breath, imagine, right? Imagine, right? In the one breath, saying, I want Tyler Dibbling, right? Imagine, I want Tyler Dibbling and I want Archie Gray to play central midfield. And then in the next breath says Conor Gallagher isn't good enough. Do you know why? Because again, if I had said the other way around, he would have said the other way around. But you need everything, Matt. Matt, you need everything. You need a mix. You need a mix. I love technical footballers, but you need a mix. Players that do everything. I don't know how you don't get this. How can one man want Tyler Dibbling and Archie Gray, but then say no to Conor Gallagher? If that isn't a contrarian, I don't know what is. Let me show you, right? Apparently, these are the same footballers. Ready? Apparently, those two are the same footballers. Paulinho's in the red, Conor Gallagher's in the blue. So one is all on the left-hand side, one is all on the right-hand side. So, guys, if anybody ever tells you that this guy, Matt, knows his football, look, they are completely different footballers. The only attribute they share is possession one. It is truly, truly worrying how much our fans don't deserve anything good. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. We have fans who don't understand the game, the basics. Tyler Dibbling. Henry, I'm not lying to you, man. Tyler Dibbling is the guy that he wanted. Tyler Dibbling. And the funny thing is, I've asked this boy so many times to come on and debate me things like this, and he shits his pants every time. Every time he shits his pants. Every single time. Anyway, I just find it funny. For me, Spurs need, I've said, right? Spurs need a whole new midfield. A whole new midfield. I think we need 3-4 central midfielders. We need 3 or 4 central midfielders. We need somebody that dictates and controls games. We need box to box. We need workhorses. We need goal scorers. We need it all because this is one of the worst set of central midfielders I've ever seen play. Right? Unfortunately, mate, you don't dictate that we strictly talk about anything. Go fuck yourself. Who on earth are you to tell me you want to strictly talk about Frank? You bottle it every time, Matt. We know you're going to bottle it again now. We all know you bottle it, right? You don't even put your camera on. You're embarrassed. So you think Gallagher... Well, I mean, first of all, they play in different positions. And do I think Gallagher is better than Dibbling? One plays for Atletico Madrid and has captained Chelsea. The other one did nothing at Southampton and now can't get a game at Everton. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And unfortunately, do you know what? I'm disappointed in myself that I let these little trolls get to me. I just find it, this is the club that I love, right? And I want this club to get better. And it doesn't matter what player I say, they find a way that this player isn't good enough. Yet they sit there and go, Archie Gray's got to start. Archie Gray. You're like, what? So Archie Gray, yes. Conor Gallagher, no. Like, what? Like, madness. Guys, as I've said a million times, the players we look down our noses at are crazy. Grealish. Look how many of these people put their noses up at Grealish. Right? Rashford. Right? So many players. We look, I mean, right, that's your last message coming up. Yeah, for a crap Atletico Madrid team. What? Wow. I would love to hear it as well, but he can't. Notice when I called him on, Phil, no, I only want to talk about Frank because he won't be able to explain these two to me. He doesn't, listen, he's a contrarian. We know he's a contrarian, right? Let's just get rid of this Seagold. He's an absolute twat. Let's get rid of him. Sorry, I can't. It's ridiculous. The reports, whenever I watch Everton, Grealish does a really good job. The reports are all saying how much he's helping in the changing room and how much he's respected up there. And then you get these fans going, what's he doing at Everton? Honestly, I've said it before, I'll say it again. So much of our fan base don't deserve nice things. So much of our fan base, they don't get football. They think you need 11 players that all play like Rodri. You've got to have different profiles in your football team. Different profiles at your football team. It's not about we just need that. And this is it. You watch how many people go, if we buy just these two positions, we'll be great. He said, what has Grealish done for Everton? Yeah. What a stupid saying. Whenever you watch Everton, most things go through Jack Grealish. So ridiculous. Yeah, no, I know. A crap. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? I think we're blessed, right? I think we're blessed in 2025, coming up to 2026, that we get to see these trolls in real life, that we get to see these people who have just got no intelligence levels at all. We get to see them. We get to see what they say in real time. And we get to go, what? And I get to call them out. Maybe I do too much, but I get to call them out, right? But it's absolutely frightening that these people watch football, then go into chat rooms and say shit like, I want to see Gray and Dibbling, but I wouldn't want a Conor Gallagher. Like, absolutely shocking. Like truly baffles me. I'm truly baffled by so many people. So many people baffle me. It's crazy. Oh mate, it's so funny. It's so funny. Listen, I just want Spurs to be sensible. No, you don't try and give your opinion. You don't. You say whatever is against what most think every time, by the way, every time. Every time. You the three names you're giving me are Gray, Dibbling, and Dewsbury Hall, right? It's mental. It's absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. As I said, feel free to come on. We'll have a chat, but we know you won't. We all know you won't. Dibbling doesn't play with his shin pads. Is that? Do you know? Listen, I don't get it. I'm sure Dibbling will be a very good player in the future, right? But who has watched Tyler Dibbling and gone, yeah? Like, really? Who has watched this lad and gone, that is what Spurs need? What does he do? Like, what does this man do? I don't understand. He's a kid that's done nothing in football yet. And you say, right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in the future. Our fans go, yeah, Dibbling. Matt, because you never say anything sensible. I've not seen you say anything sensible. You go from one extreme to the other and you lie, like you just did about Adam Wharton. You lie. Matt, come on right now. Let's see you come on. Let's see the excuse. Clearly you're watching the show, so you've got time. So why don't you come on right now? Right? I'll tell you where I struggle with you, Matt. If I remove the fact that I think you're a troll, can I tell you where I struggle with you? Right? Is last year, every manager needs 3 to 5 years. This year, the manager's only getting 4 months. Last year is an excuse for every player every time we lose a game. This year, we should be doing better. Right? Now you want to sign really average footballers. Sorry, can you explain this to me and the viewers? Why won't you be able to talk about Dibbling? Why wouldn't you be able to talk about Conor Gallagher and Archie Gray? I just don't get it. Sure, if you would like to come on and talk about Thomas Frank, let's do it. Right? Let's do it. I don't know why you can only talk about one subject. What a weird, sorry, you're a really weird character. This is weird. Are you going to come on? I bet you don't. I bet you don't. I bet you won't. We'll talk about Frank all you want. Sure. I would love to, because I'm going to use your Ange narrative against you at every opportunity. You know I am going to. Let's see what you've got. Alan, I don't get it. I don't get it. Only Frank for some reason. You know why? Because he knows he's lying about Dibbling and Gray and Dewsbury Hall. He knows he's lying, and that's why he can't do it. Yeah, I know. Pochettino and Diego Simeone thought Gallagher was good enough. I know, but not Spurs. I haven't made a single stream analysing Frank's coaching. What's that got to do with anything? Are you coming on or not? I haven't got all day, Matt. Matt, just tell us yes or no. Are you coming on? Right? Are you coming on? Yes or no? That's all I want. The next answer from you, Matt. If you are, you can have the link. If not, no. Are you coming on? Right? Just tell us if you're coming on. No ifs, buts, maybes. Are you coming on or not? If you're not, then just say no and we can all move on from you, right? He only wants one subject, mate, because he knows he'll get absolutely destroyed in the other subjects. It's easy to talk about Frank because it's not going well for Frank. The other subjects, he knows he's wrong. Hey, give us a frank answer. No, we all know he won't come on, Kate. He does this every time. And I give him the opportunity every time. Again, look, Matt, use your ears. Yes or no, are you coming on? Try just yes or no. Matt, this is why people think you're a troll. Yes or no? We all know he hasn't got a football. Like, imagine someone says, I'll invite you on my channel. Sure, but you can only talk about that. What? It's absolutely mad. Anyway, I love Christmas. Happy Christmas to each and every one of you. Happy Christmas to each and every one of you. Now, if he says yes, I will put the link in and he can come on. I'm just waiting for him to say yes, but he just shits his pants at every opportunity, this lad. Shits his pants. I don't know. He wants to analyze Frank's coaching. Cool. We can do it. Come on. It does. Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about all these things. I'll talk about this, though. Can you imagine, right? For anyone who's married, can you imagine having a row with your wife or your husband? Yeah. I'm upset with you. Okay, but before we start talking, you can only talk about this. You're not allowed to talk about this. Look, notice how Matt shit himself, everybody. All we needed was the word yes or no, and he shit himself, as he does. And you know what? In the next stream, he'll come in, giving it the big un. I'd come on and talk. Come on, Matt. Christmas special. What was the game show? Not the game show. What was the quiz show? Mastermind. And your specialist subject is analyzing Frank's tactics. Oh, God. Where is he? Is he shit himself, everyone? Look, he's gone. Oh, he's gone. I literally have said I will. You're not listening, Maisie. I'm waiting for him to say yes. And I'll give him the link. We all love Matt. He's like a pantomime villain, but he shit himself, and he look. Where is he? Matt? Everyone's asking, Matt, where are you? Oh, how we laugh. Anyway, guys and girls, listen, so to round that off, listen, I think we need some sensible signings, guys. I think we need sensible signings. I think we need some men. I think we need character leaders. I think we need men. That is why I say someone like a Conor Gallagher would be great for this team. Again, just say yes or no and come on. You can't do it. He can't do it. For some reason now, you don't want to talk about Ange. We can talk about Frank. Come on, let's talk about Frank. Right? Let's talk about Frank, seeing as you're such a big sissy that you can't talk about more than one thing at once. Here we go. Let's give him the link because it's how funny. How funny. I can only talk about one subject. Ready? There's the link, Matt. There's the link. There's the link, Matt. Just Matt. No one else. Everyone else will be kicked out. Just Matt. Come on. Come on, Matt. Come on. Come on. Let's see. What do you reckon? What odds are you going to give me that he shits the bed? Come on. Just Frank. We'll have a conversation all about Thomas Frank, because that's all anyone can talk about these days. Thomas Frank. Yeah, basically that we can have it. Yeah, we can have a debate as long as you don't use any evidence to prove me wrong. Yeah, basically. Oh, I love it. Happy Christmas, everybody. Where is he? 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 Matt, you see what the chat have said? If you come in, everyone's going to stick a £1 super sticker in. Every single one of them. Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Would I go for Harvey Barnes? I think Harvey Barnes is better than what we've got. Is he a massive needle mover? No, but he is massively better than what we've got right now. And that is the problem with this squad. We didn't buy what we needed. We didn't buy what we needed, and unfortunately, we left ourselves very light. I like Harvey Barnes. I do. I like Harvey Barnes as a player. Yeah, I think Harvey Barnes would be a really good option for rotation in a squad like Newcastle use him as. Is he the number one guy? I don't know. But you know what? He's much better than Tell, and he's much better than Odegaard. So, yeah. So everybody's seen now. The link is there. We're waiting for Matt, and we're only allowed to talk about Thomas Frank. Brilliant. So let's see. Are you there, Matt? We know he won't put his camera on. No one with opinions that bad would put their camera on, would they? Barnes been better than Gordon this season. I haven't disrespected Harvey Barnes. I think he's a good footballer. I think he's a good footballer. He's massively better than anything we've got. He's massively better than anything we've got on our left wing right now. All day long, I'd take him all day long over what we've got. Now, if you ask me, would I have him versus a Lookman, for example? Well, then no, I want a Lookman. But first of all, I don't think Newcastle would let him go. I like this guy, by the way. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Let me do some super chats whilst we wait for let's be fair, he's probably shit himself. Big up, AD. How we doing, my man? Hope you're well. Big up to you. Let's do some super chats. Adam, how you doing? It's Merry Christmas, buddy. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I try my best, even with the trolls. I'll always entertain the trolls. It's funny at times. Big up to you, Adam. Thank you so much. Happy Christmas to you and yours. Happy Christmas to Krista Scorpin Nyland. Thank you very much, Krista. Said I read a rumor yesterday that Tottenham might be interested in Jurgen Strand-Larsen. Would you be happy with that? No. Again, I don't think moves the needle enough. For me. If he is Frank's guy, sure, but for me, doesn't move the needle enough. Would he get better than Solanke, Richie, and Mawani? I don't know. We'll see. But I think he'll end up at Palace or West Ham. Big up to you guys. Big up to Emery Wrong. So Merry Christmas. Watching on currently sunny holiday. Next present, Lookman, Locatelli and Brown. See, these sort of players is what I want. A Lookman, a Locatelli, Brown. Absolutely. And happy Christmas to you as well. Hope your holiday's going well, my man. Thank you very much. Big up to my man, Corey. He said the neglect of this club has been a slow burn since the 2 years of Potts wasn't backed. That's when it started. One bad window after another. Absolutely. But apparently 4 months can fix it all. And absolutely, Corey, big up to you. He's coming again, very generous. Said, happy Christmas, Sava, from me and my family, and to all love from Corey. Big up to you and the boy as well. Happy Christmas to you and your family, Corey. Christmas. Before we go on to the next one, big up to Mark Taylor, who sent me a coffee. Thank you very much, Mark. Really, really appreciate that. I'm not sure what you said in your message. I will read out. I'll get cussed for that, but thank you very much for the kind words. And big up to you, Corey. Big up to Mark Taylor. Big up to David. Said, is Savinho, Lookman and Goretzka too unrealistic? Completely transformed. Look, again, you had 2 or 3 like that. Suddenly we look a very different prospect, don't we? Someone as solid and experienced as Goretzka in midfield who can pass a ball. Savinho and Lookman give you a new dimension of going forward. But will Spurs do it? I don't know if we will. Big up and happy Christmas to you. A user said, hey, Sava, season's greetings. I worry the window is going to be below expectations due to how low morale is among supporters. Thoughts on Berg? Thoughts on Berg, Liverpool? Berg? Which Berg? Which Berg are we talking about? I don't understand the last bit. Thoughts on Berg? Oh, Paul. Can you explain what you mean by that, A user? And I'll read it out. Don't super chat it. Just put it in the chat. And I'll answer. James Plays. Thank you very much. And I have a Merry Christmas to you and your family. Right back at you, James. Happy Christmas, buddy. Thank you so much. Big up to Anthony Clark. So Merry Christmas to you and your family. So have a lovely day. Thank you for your content. Thank you very much, Anthony. Big up to you as well. Really, really big Christmas to you and your family. And I hope you have a good day. Thank you, buddy. Big up to Brian, relegation world champs. Brian, relegation to world champs. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Big up to the Aussie Frank Lover with a super sticker. Thank you so much for everything you've done on my channel this year. Really appreciate you. And also to Tony. Thank you very much, Tony. You're always very generous to me. So happy Christmas to you over there in Sweden. Notice how I've just read out about 14 super chats. And he's shit himself, hasn't he? I said we could do his just frank conversation, and he's nowhere to be seen. Oh well, maybe next Christmas. As you've all seen, he's a massive bottler. Not yet. They haven't opened it, but yes, they get more presents than we do. Okay, Liverpool wanted Bergvall. Why would be my question. If anyone offers me 52 million for Bergvall, I am snapping your hand off for it. I don't know if this is true. I've seen the rumors. 52 million for a boy that's done nothing in football is utterly, utterly crazy. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Why? Like, if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'd be looking and going, why? I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand why they would. I would take it all day long, but I haven't seen any reputable sources say it's happening. 50 million. I don't think there's anyone in this team I wouldn't accept 50 million for other than Van der Ven. Anyone else can go for 50 million other than Van der Ven. Yep. I'd love, Lookman, Neves, if he's it's difficult to get those players, isn't it, from Saudi? But yep. Absolutely. By the way, I am going to end the show in 5 minutes. So, listen, you've all seen by then I would have given Matt 15 minutes and he shit himself. If he doesn't come on this time, he will just be blocked for good because we now know that he is just trolling and he's now just lying to us. I will come on. Well, I've given you the link, given you the time, and you've not come on. Look, I don't, but these, I heard this about Grealish. I heard this about Garnacho. I heard this about Rashford. I keep hearing this about players that are performing. It only seems to be our fans that constantly, every player's not good enough for the attitude, but these players go and perform. Oh, the attitude of Rashford. He's at Barcelona playing week in, week out, like Barcelona. But no, couldn't have him because of his attitude at Spurs. It's madness. Where are we? Oh, not that. So I'll come back to that in a second. But he said he was our player of the year at 18 last year. Bags of potential and could be worth 100 million in 5 years. I mean, first of all, you've really not done your homework. Has Frank ever had a good central midfielder? I mean, what a ridiculous notion this is. This is absolutely ridiculous. So you're now going to put all the blame on Frank for Bergvall not doing a lot. Last year, he was our player of the year because he just ran around loads in a chaotic system. This is ridiculous, right? This is absolutely ridiculous. You've got no way of knowing he could be worth 100 million at all. Like, we can all say that. I could say that about any player. Where have you got that from? Has Frank ever had a good centre mid? Well, Norgard now plays for Arsenal, right? Janelt, right? Damsgaard, Christian Eriksen. This is just absolutely, look at the way everything is Frank's fault. Everything is Frank's fault. It's madness. Look, I just think it's madness. I think it's absolutely madness. This guy's going to get blamed for everything. I've never watched Bergval last year or this year and gone, yeah, you're top quality. Now that doesn't mean he's not going to be, but I've not seen it. I've not seen anything that makes me go, yeah. Big up, Ethan, my man. Much love, bro. I hope you're well. Happy Christmas to you, Ethan. Um, mate, it just cracks me up. There's always an excuse. No one's good enough for Spurs. Everyone's got an attitude. Um, mate, it's mad, mate. It's mad. Yeah, not snowing. Everybody, what's Frank's fault? There you go in the chat. What is Thomas Frank's fault? Not snowing at Christmas. Thomas Frank's fault. What else is Frank's fault? Let's go for it. Please, no midfielders won't get anywhere near top 10. Maisie, you have to understand he was managing Brentford. Again, I'll tell you what I think really silly about this comment. You have to have the midfielders that get on the ball and play to utilise them. We don't have that. Bergval isn't that. Gray isn't that. Bentancur isn't that. Paulinho's not that. So which midfielder is that? And no, what you're saying is it's just long balls and second balls. That's not how Brentford played. They played through to their wide men, to their forwards. Again, somebody who's not done their homework on what a manager actually does. Big up to Lee. Happy Christmas to you. I just listen. I'm not sitting here saying sell him, but 52 million for a 19-year-old for me who shouldn't be starting for Tottenham all day long. But again, we don't want to sell anyone. We wouldn't sell anyone. They're all amazing. It's madness. Yes, and Glasner manager Palace got Wharton. Right. Right. What does that mean? I don't, what does that mean? Where did Palace finish last season? What does this mean? I'm so confused. Sorry. What does this person's all over the place? Doesn't seem to have an actual argument for anything. Let's have a look. Last year, Crystal Palace finished 12th. I don't understand your point. So you mean what you mean is he bought a good midfielder and we haven't bought good midfielders. That's what you mean, right? That's not Thomas Frank. Great, Ethan. This is the thing I don't get. I don't know what he is. Matt, stop winding me up, mate. You're annoying now. Right, there's the link one more time. Hurry up, because I've gone longer than I wanted to waiting for you to come in. There's the link. Right, there's the link. Let's see. There's the link just for Matt. Let's see. Hurry up, because I've given you about 20 minutes here. I don't get this, right? Surely you have to give the manager the good players before you say he can't work with good players. It just doesn't make any sense. Why was he able to play with Ericsson? Why was he able to make Mbeumo wanted by everyone? Tony wanted by everyone? Ollie Watkins? Visser? Why was he able to get those players wanted by other clubs? Rico Henry? You're saying he hasn't? Nuno had Anderson. Same manager learn teams and develop them. Frank never. No, Maisie. They are. Sorry, this goes down as the dumbest comment of the day. Maisie, you have to be that type of player to develop that type of player. Anderson and Wharton are ball-playing number 8 midfielders that can dictate, whether you think they're deep-lying sixes, they dictate. We have not got that in our squad. Who in our squad does that? That's a Tottenham problem for not buying them. Mate, here you go, in the politest way, fuck off. I'm bored of stupid comments like that. I don't benefit from him at all. I'm just saying, he gives it a big and he's going to come on. Matt, hurry up. You've now had nearly 20 minutes. Hurry up, Matt. Right. Let me get the right screen. Matt, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, Matt.
Yeah,
Okay, right. What do you want to talk about, seeing as you're making the rules?
Thomas Frank.
Sure, go for it.
Well, basically, I just want to know if you think Thomas Frank's the right man
For what?
um for the job at Spurs.
Ask a question. You haven't asked a question. What's the job at Spurs?
Well, I mean, to be the Spurs manager.
That's not a question. Ask a question. You haven't asked a question.
I have. I just
No,
asked
no,
you.
you haven't.
I just asked you. Do you
you've
think
asked
that
you've asked a very open-ended question, which doesn't mean anything. Let me ask you, what is the job at Spurs? What's the short-term, medium, long-term aim? Ask me a
okay?
proper question. I'll give you an answer.
Okay. Well, I remember watching your videos at the start of the year.
Yep.
And seeing a lot of the things that you were saying about Thomas Frank. But a lot of those things are not happening right now, and you've gone a bit
Like what?
silent on. Well, I remember I was watching a few of your videos, and you were saying that basically that Thomas Frank was going to come in, he was going to make us hard to beat,
Yep.
he was going to make us resilient. Well,
Yep.
what's happened?
So when Thomas Frank did make us hard to beat and resilient, fans
Yeah.
like you absolutely cried every single game because he made us hard to beat. You didn't like the football, right? Now he's trying to open up a bit more. We're not hard to beat. It's almost as though, Matt, Thomas Frank realized that we're very fragile and don't have great players. Put Bentancur and Paulinho in the middle to protect the back four. You spent the whole time crying for Archie Gray to go in the midfield. And all the games Archie Gray plays in the midfield, we are wide open. So maybe it could be because of that, Matt. But also, Matt, did I actually say that within 4 months he would have achieved all of these things as a coach?
Sorry. No, you didn't say 4 months, but you were saying that he was going to be resilient.
Right.
You said that he was going to make us hard to beat.
Right.
You also said that he would coach the team better.
Sure.
None of those. He hasn't done any of those things so far.
So it's been 4 months. Again, it's been 4 months. He has to build a team to make it resilient, to make it hard to beat. Coaching doesn't happen over. Again, this is why I say when you don't understand football. No, let me finish. You asked a question, I'm answering it. Right? 4 months. You don't coach everything over 4 months. That takes time. That takes bringing in your own players. Right? That's not Thomas Frank. That's any manager. They can't have 4 months.
Can I say something? Because you remember last time you told me to come with my facts and my proof.
Sure.
So I've got that. I was actually watching a video of yours not too long ago from earlier on in the season.
Sure.
And you was not talking anything about players. You was not talking about anything about a time period, 4 months or anything like that. You was just talking waxing lyrical about Thomas Frank and the fact that he has made us hard to beat and that he has made us resilient. Now that is not happening, I do not hear you talking about Thomas Frank or analysing his managerial role. So I find it a bit ironic.
Can I tell you how I know
because
you're
I have the
absolutely
proof.
lying
I have
right
the
now?
proof. No, I'm not lying. I can tell you the exact video that you said it.
Right, okay. But Matt. So the difference between let me ask you again. How old are you, Matt?
I'm in my 20s.
Right, okay. This is how I know you're a child with no life experience. Right.
So why are you getting personal for? Just because
I'm going to tell you why.
But why
I'm
are you
going to tell
being
you
personal? Just because I've pointed
if
out.
you shut up, if you shut up, I'll tell you why.
And then now you're just being personal.
Okay, but you're not letting me talk. You're not letting me talk.
Because you're being disrespectful. You can't invite someone on to be disrespectful.
Are you going to let me answer the question or not?
Well, I'll let you answer, but don't be disrespectful.
Don't come on my show and lie.
I've not lied. I can just tell you the exact video.
Let me talk. You have come on and plucked out one video. I talk every single day about everything at Spurs. And you have plucked out the one video where I might not have mentioned, I don't even know the video, by the way, but the one video where I might not have mentioned something, and you're using that against me. The difference between me and you, Matt, is I go live every day and we'll talk about Tottenham Hotspur. The difference with people like you is you can pluck the one video, the one post that you want from what I've said, right? I said in the summer, you know I did, the chat knows I did. This is going to be a tough season with ups and downs. This needs multiple transfer windows, multiple years, right? But fans like you don't get it. You want it done now. Who's he coached? He's had 4 months. Who is it that you think is getting better noticeably in 4 months that you turn around and go, look at that job, right? Fans don't understand how football managers and coaches work. And this is the problem. When he did do all of the things I said, made us hard to beat, you sat in my chat every week going, Bentancur, Paulinho, the double pivot doesn't work. Those two can't play together. Bentancur's crap. We then put in the guy that you wanted, and it fell to pieces.
I'm not a football manager, though.
Right.
I'm not a manager.
But Matt, you were the one saying what you wanted. He gave you what you wanted, and it don't work. Why is that?
But this is I understand what you're saying, but my point is I'm a fan. I don't hold the cards, you know. So Thomas Frank, he makes those decisions. So, you know, if I've got an opinion, I could be wrong, I could be right, but I don't have my UEFA badges, you know. I don't have my badges to be able to make.
You said it every week.
Yeah, but I'm a fan.
Every week when you were wrong, you kept saying the same thing, man.
Yeah, but no, I never said the same thing. I said
shit, he plays Bentancur and Paulinho together. You said it every week.
Well, I think you're lying. See, you just told you. This is why I really think you're a very big hypocrite, because you're literally putting words. I've never said that Frank.
Everyone saw you say it every week, Matt.
Can I speak?
Everyone saw you say it.
Can I speak? I just was silent when you speak. I have never once said that Thomas Frank is shit. Never, because I do not think Thomas Frank is shit. No, but you did. You just said that. I said that Thomas Frank
said it's shit because he plays Bentancur and Paulinho together.
Oh, okay.
You said it over and over again.
Yes, I did say that. No, I did say that. I agree. Right, I did say that.
Just quickly, Matt. 1 second, Sam, dude, mate. Every week you ask me why I block you. Look at what you do every week. Look at what you do every week. Just chill, man. Just chill. Listen to the conversation. At least Matt, the one thing I'll give Matt credit for is he's got a pair of bollocks and he came on, unlike you. So go on. Okay, so who do you want as manager, Matt?
To be honest with you, mate, I would prefer a Xavi. I would take a Glasner. The two things that I would look for, mate,
you wanted to see attacking, attractive football though in the chat.
Yeah, but that's what I was just about to touch on. There's two things that I would rather, mate. I would rather an attacking philosophy manager like a Xavi or Iriola or De Zerbi, or I would like a Glasner, a manager that's proven that can win me trophies. Those are my two requirements for me personally.
What trophy is Glasner winning with this squad, please?
Well, I think he could win us. Well, it's not about with this squad. It's about what he could win with us. No, but he's not. No, but see, I don't. Why do you have to make everything so black and white? If Glasner was to come in, hang on. Can you just give me 2 seconds?
Trophy-winning argument.
Can you at least let me?
Should Steven Gerrard be our manager?
Can I just finish my point? I'm not saying that Glasner has to come in now and win us a trophy. I'm saying that Glasner has a track record of winning. So if Glasner was to come in, I would have trust that given the time and given the players, he will win because of his track record. That's my point.
And you see, the difficulty here is all you can think about is winning trophies rather than actually building a
No, but I just told you that it's
hang on. You just told me, and I let you talk, and then I've said 5 or 6 words, and you started, right? You are the person that ever since I've seen you has said managers need 3 to 5 years. You are the person that said that. My whole chat has seen you say that. Managers need 3 to 5 years, right? You are now, right, after 4 months going against that, which shows me you have shows me that whatever you say isn't true and you don't believe it, right? Secondly, Glasner, you are the one who has sat in my chat again saying the football's pragmatic, the football's boring, we at least want to be entertained. That's not what Glasner does. So again, you would be sitting in my chat in 6 months' time when the football's not good, going, this is boring. We want to watch football, right? And this is what I'm saying. As I've said, Matt, I have said all along, change Thomas Frank. None of you lot know what you want. None of you know what you want.
No, but
because 1 minute, no, hang on. 1 minute, it's I want a De Zerbi type manager. The next minute, it's I want a Glasner type manager. Now, these are two very different managers at the different ends of the spectrum, right? De Zerbi, brilliant. Let's bring in De Zerbi. What footballers in this football club are going to be able to play De Zerbi's style of play or Xavi's style of play?
Okay, but firstly, I just want to say, I think what you do is you try to kind of box what I'm saying into a certain corner.
Just answer the question. Stop trying to analyze me. Answer the question.
No,
I'm not here for you to analyze.
I'm talking about the managers I want. You are then trying to tell me that I want a Glasner or that I want a Xavi, right? But for me, I'm just simply saying that there's two requirements that I look for in a coach. Either I would want to see them playing front-footed, attacking football with a good philosophy, or I'd rather a manager that has got a proven track record of winning. That is my point. It's not about...
Okay. So there's no... Okay, so the problem with that is there's no answer. So listen to what you're saying. I really, really want attractive attacking football. If not, I just want someone who's a proven winner that's got a track record.
Yes.
And right. So basically that encompasses anything. Let me ask you the question. What happened when we brought in those two types of managers in Conte and Jose? What happened?
Yeah, but I said we're in a different frame right now. I feel
no, we're not. Matt, we're not in a different frame right now. This is the point.
But what's Frank gonna do though?
If you bring in someone who is a proven winner right now, what have they got to work with?
But that's my point. I don't expect anyone to win right now. That's my point. I'm not saying anyone's going to win.
So you don't want a proven winner right now. You want someone who builds.
No, I never said. Yeah, but
I want. Yeah, what you want.
Yeah, no. So what I'm trying to say, that's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I want a manager to build, and the two managers I ever want is an attacking philosophy manager or a proven winner to build. That's my point. So either the two.
Okay, proven winners don't normally stick around for years and build. They're proven winners because they win.
Yeah, well, I mean, Klopp
so which one is it?
Klopp did and Pep did.
Sorry, when on earth did Pep do this? Sorry, what?
No, you just said that proven winners don't stay around, and Klopp and Pep did.
No, listen, see again, two of these.
What did you say?
Listen to what I actually said, not what you think I said. Listen to what I actually said, right? This is the thing. This is why when you lie about it, listen to the words I say. Which managers, that are winners actually go somewhere and spend all the time and build?
I just named you.
Guardiola went to Man City, didn't win for 1 year, and has won everything ever since, right?
What about Klopp?
What do you mean about Klopp?
You just told me, and I've just proven your premise to be wrong.
What do you mean? So Jurgen Klopp went to Liverpool.
Yes.
Right? Liverpool.
Oh, so now you're going to change the goalpost. A minute ago, it was...
I'm not changing the goalpost.
Well, you just said what managers go and build, and I just named you two.
Sure, because what did they give Klopp to build with? We don't have that.
What about Eddie Howe?
Huh?
Eddie Howe's a winner at Newcastle. He's been there for a few years.
Cool. And what would our fans say if we went and got Eddie Howe?
Well, that's another debate. But can you please stick on topic? No, but you keep moving the goalposts. This is what you do every time you argue.
No. Move the goalposts. Listen, but again, I'll tell you what, mate. If you just want to come on and analyze me, then I'll kick you off. Listen to the debate we're having, right? If you want Eddie Howe, I like Eddie Howe. I'll take him. But we've now gone from Glasner to De Zerbi to Iriola to Howe to Klopp to Pep.
No, I think you're missing it. I think you're missing it, mate. Can I just say something for a second?
No, I'm talking. Right?
But you keep making a narrative that I've not said. I've not said I want Eddie Howe.
The point is, Matt, you make so many narratives that literally what you've said is everything. You might as well have just said the sentence, I want everything other than Frank. Right? So your question when you first came in was, do you think Frank's the right man? And I said
Yes.
to you, for what? And you still haven't been able to give me
Well, I did. I actually said to you, do you think Frank is the man to build with and
for
to basically take us forward?
to where? To what?
Okay. Do you think
Define
that?
Frank.
Okay. Do you think that Thomas Frank could be our next Pochettino?
Could he be our next Pochettino? What, not
Yes,
win
because that's
anything? Yeah, he could not
I
win
mean, that's
anything. Sure.
but I mean, do you think
Right,
he'll
that's what
have
I'm
us in?
saying. Give me.
Okay,
This is why I
I'll
asked
be
you
more
to give me
specifically.
definitives, Matt.
I'll be
You're
more
not.
specific. I'll be more
Please.
specific. Do you think that Thomas Frank will be able to get us in and around the top four, challenging for years like Pochettino did?
What did Poch challenge for?
Well, he challenged for the league once, and he was in and around the Champions League
I mean, we were
places.
never ever anywhere near the
Well,
top, so
see,
I don't think he
everything I say, you just
challenged
always come up with
for the
something
league. No,
else.
hang on. When you're saying he challenged for the league, how many points did we finish behind the top? Like, so if
So
you're
now,
asking me,
are we gonna diminish what Pochettino did now?
I mean, no one did. That's a massive leap you've made there, but this is what you do. I get it, right? Listen, at the end of the day, can he do what Poch did?
Yes.
Can he make us a team that constantly finish in the top four?
Yes.
Sure, why not? If we get players like Kane and Son.
Okay,
and
can I
Dembele.
ask you based on
Hang
what?
on. I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of answering your question.
Sorry.
Right? Yes, he can do that if given the level of players. But that isn't a Thomas Frank thing. This is an any manager thing. Any manager, if they're not given those players, won't do it. Same as Conte didn't do it. Jose didn't do it. Nuno didn't do it. Ange didn't do it. This is the point. We're just looking at the manager. If you do not have the level of players that Poch had, you're not going to be there. Now, if the question is, could Thomas Frank build us, stabilize us to something solid so that a new manager comes in and takes you to the next level? Yes. Is Thomas Frank a serial winning manager? No. But Spurs aren't a serial winning club. And this is the problem. When everyone just constantly, this is what I love about Spurs fans. We're constantly going, the manager must be a winner, must be a winner, must be a winner, must be a winner. Why? We are
I
not
never said
winners.
that.
I didn't say you said that. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. This is the problem, right? We are not a serial winning football team. We do not have a squad that is capable of serial winning anything. We haven't for decades. And this is the problem, right?
What's that got to do with what I asked you, though? Like, I asked you, do you think that Thomas and why?
Everything.
Well, no, not really, because I asked you, do you think that Thomas Frank can take us to what Poch did, and Poch didn't win anything, so that's null and void.
So yes, can Frank take us to not winning anything? Yes, he
can.
So
you think that Thomas Frank could? So you think Thomas Frank could make us a stable top four team? You believe that?
Did you listen to any of the answer I just gave you?
That's what Poch did. He made us a top four team.
Did you listen to any of the answer I just gave you?
Yeah.
This is where it's infuriating. Yes. Listen. Yes. If given the players that Poch had right now, we are so far away from those big four teams. It is unreal. Right?
Okay. Can I ask you another thing?
No. Let me finish explaining.
I mean, you've been talking for the last however.
Matt, get off. I'm explaining to you about Poch and what he needs, about Frank and what he needs. And
you're not even letting me speak, though.
Every opportunity. You asked a question, and this is the problem with your era. You asked a question, somebody starts laying out the facts, and you start going, "Oh, good. Let me explain to you." Right? Any manager, Thomas Frank, Iriola, Glasner, De Zerbi, all of these managers, all of these managers could get Spurs to a top four if they are given the footballers. My problem with this is we need to give the manager the footballers and the time to build that. The problem is people have made their mind up that after 4 months, Thomas Frank can't do anything. People have made their mind up that the only way to judge him is to judge against Pochettino. So what hope has he got? What hope has the next manager got? You're going to do this with the next manager as well.
I wouldn't actually, because if the manager was to actually deliver, then I would actually be fully behind him. And I actually
Deliver
said
what?
I said on your in your chat, but I've noticed that you never read some of my comments when like I'm actually saying positive things or stuff. But I actually did say if Frank was showing me some signs, some positive signs, just something, it could be anything, then I would
No.
actually say, you know,
It can't just be
I
anything.
was
Give me, what are those positive signs?
okay.
Tell me.
Okay. So Thomas Frank, for example, is a defensive or pragmatic manager, right? We've got a whole back line fully fit, and yet we are not harder to beat. Why is that?
Because he came away from the Bentancur
And whose
Paulinho
fault
double
is that?
pivot.
Whose fault is that?
Sure,
Who
sure,
made that
but
decision?
sure, he did. But this is my point, right?
Yes.
Whatever he does, you're not happy with. You weren't happy when he did that. You're not happy now he's not done that. So my point is, whatever he does, people won't be happy,
So
right?
basically, he can just do anything, basically.
No, again, grow up. That's not what I said. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying any manager who joins this football club, whether his name is Thomas Frank, Iriola, De Zerbi, they will need more than 4 months and more than one transfer window to implement something, to
I
implement
agree.
a philosophy, a strategy, a plan. The football that our fans want to see is only achievable if you give the manager the right players to do it. At the moment, this is the weakest set of midfielders I think I've seen for decades at Tottenham Hotspur, right? But yet fans like you cry to want to see Archie Gray, right?
Can I
People want to see, right, Papa Sarr. Then they say things like, we don't play good football. Of course we don't. We've not got good footballers. We haven't played good
um
football for years.
can I ask you a question? Do you remember that
Sure.
Norwich team? Do you remember that Norwich team? I think it was I can't remember what year it was. Maybe 2013, I think it was. That was playing very good football in the Premier League, and they had bang average players throughout their whole team. Why were they playing attractive football if you're saying that teams
Sorry,
all
I don't remember this Norwich team that played at
there
track.
was
Where did they
I
finish?
I can't remember. I can't remember where they finished. I honestly can't remember, but I'm 100%.
I have no idea what team you're talking about.
Okay,
So unless you know the team you're talking about, this
it
is a
was.
moot
I think it was the team with Cantwell.
team with Campwell. This is a team
Yeah,
that got ripped wide open every game and lost.
no. But my point of the matter is, you can play that football.
No,
That's my
no,
point. My point
playing
is,
good football,
even with
playing good
no,
football.
no.
Part of it is
Can
not
see what I
getting
mean?
ripped
You don't let
wide
me
open.
finish. You don't let me finish my point. You're missing my point. I'm not saying that we have to play crazy football. My point of the matter is, if a manager, a progressive
Yeah,
manager, has a philosophy, he can
sure,
implement it to a team. The team can try to make that philosophy work, but the players and the quality will show that they cannot do it to the best of their ability. And my problem with Frank is I don't see any triangles, I don't see any movement, and I don't see any progressive play. If I at
sure,
least saw some of that and it wasn't working, it was breaking
sure.
down, I
Can
could
I
say, you
ask you
know
then?
what? Yes.
Can I ask you then? So under, I'm not allowed to mention his name. So under the last manager, when we lost week in, week out, all you did was have excuses as to how bad the players are that have been bought by Enoch. Why has that suddenly disappeared and now suddenly we should be playing football with nice plans?
Well, I don't know what you mean by that, because I feel like
I mean, it's
whenever
really simple. That was a really
um
simple question.
yes, but I feel like everything I done last year, you're doing this year. The difference is I actually was looking forward to the Europa League, which is what I was holding on to. That's the only thing. So all my
Sorry, that's not
excuses,
an answer. That's not
all
an answer.
my
Please
all it
answer.
is, it is an answer. You just don't like it, mate.
You haven't answered. Hang on. Last year, everything I heard
Yes,
was Spurs are a mess. This squad
yes,
is bottom half. Enoch have bought shit players, right? What's the manager supposed to do? It's not
yeah,
his fault. Every defeat, there was an excuse.
yeah,
This year, you're telling people we should be right up there,
yeah.
playing good football, and you haven't mentioned Enoch. Why
Well,
has that changed over the summer?
okay. And what has changed with you from last year? Everything being about the tactics, and now it's about the players.
Because last year we had a manager who had 4 transfer windows in 2 years at the football club.
With bad
This year,
players. With bad players.
This year,
Yes.
he brought them all in. He brought them all in.
No, we know it was
If Thomas Frank is 2 years down the line and we're like this, I have got massive issues. But we're 4 months in.
Okay, but my point of the matter is,
Your manager bought 19 new footballers and he had 4 transfer windows.
What do you mean, your manager? He's our manager. He won us the Europa League.
Oh, he's our manager now.
Why are you saying your manager as if you're not a Spurs fan as well? Well,
right.
Both of our managers.
This is where it gets interesting, because last year managers needed 3 to 5 years. This year the managers had 4 months. You want him out? Which one is it?
Well, like I said, last year it was all about the tactics, and this year it's
Which
all
one
about
is
the
it?
players for you.
I'm just asking you a simple question.
I just
Which one
told
is
you,
it?
me and you in the exact same boat, mate. Everything I done last season, you're doing this season, and you just can't take it.
Because Matt, I'll tell you why. Because Matt, this manager's had 4 months and 1 window. That manager last year had 2 years, £400 million, 2 summers, 1 year where they were on the training pitch every day because there was no European football. If Thomas Frank gets to that stage, I will 100% agree with you. He's had 4 months. So it's not like for like, Matt.
You are right. You are right. It's not like for like.
Now answer my
question. I will answer your question, but just on what you just said right now.
You don't answer. Answer nice and simply, please. This is a really simple question.
I will answer your question.
Oh my God, shut up. Answer my question. Why was every manager needs 3 to 5 years? This season, it's 4 months.
Because number one, and finished 5th in his first season, so he put credit in the bank for me. Oh, see, now you're going to move the goal.
Lost every week.
Are you going to move the goalpost now? Because I've just answered your question.
I've moved the goal. No, see, you can't answer the question.
I did. I said he finished 5th.
Because he finished 5th. Okay.
Yeah.
So the second half of his first season, it didn't matter that we were all 4 and lost every week. And then the following year, it didn't matter that we were all 4 and lost every week.
No, but you asked me why I said I'd give him 3 to 5 years, and I just told you.
So where does Frank need to finish for you? If it's all about league position, where does Frank need to finish for you to have some credit in the bank for next season?
I think he needs to finish roughly around where you predicted, because I've actually done my research, and you said we should finish 6th.
No, that's not.
And I can find the video, or I can find the video.
Again, when you lie, Matt, what did I say? Tell me what I said about the prediction, and this is where you lie, and I hate it. What did I say?
But you don't even know what video I'm talking about. You don't know which video I'm talking about.
What did I say about 6th? I know my own prediction. Matt, you know when you think you're clever and you go, I've done my homework and your videos, you don't think I know what my prediction was?
Honestly, I'll be honest with you, mate.
Do you know what I said? Can I just tell you what I said before you make something up?
Yeah, okay.
Right? Now, it's so funny. All the people that love Ange all say the same thing. You said 6th. I said, with a fully fit squad and with the likes of Maddison and Kulu and Solanke, we would be 6th. We don't have that. So I don't expect 6th. I expect more in and around the 8th and 9th.
Okay,
right?
Fair enough.
So, as I said, with Maddison, huge miss. With Kulu, huge miss. Right?
Yes.
With those players, I would expect this squad to be 6th. Without that, I think you've taken away all of our technical quality. Kulu and Maddison are the footballers that you could play the nice triangles and patterns through. And this is my problem, where people like you come on and lie about me and don't say the whole story, right? We have been left with all the midfielders that don't play the triangles, don't play the patterns, aren't comfortable on the ball, right?
Yeah, but Sava, that doesn't stop us from being defensively sound, mate. That's my problem. I think that's my problem.
It does if you want to open up. It does. Well, first and foremost, because we don't have great defenders, right? Is a massive problem.
Well,
right?
I mean, I have my opinions on Romero as well. So I mean, I'm not.
No, I didn't mention Romero.
No, well, I'm just saying I'm not.
I think.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that for me, I think that like I said, I could understand if from the midfield to the final third, it wasn't fully fluid, and things weren't swift. But I feel like because of the defensive reinforcements we have. I just can't accept that we're so bad and wide open
Okay, but
defensively.
Matt, do you know why? Again, this comes down to all of our fans overrate all of our players. Adogi is not a good left back. Porro is not a good right back. Right? These
Okay.
are not great defenders. So when you're saying we've got our back four, this is a back four that for years are used to winning, used to losing. They are used to conceding hundreds of goals.
But they're also used to winning the Europa League.
Hang on, but that's nothing to. What's that got to do with the league?
No, but you can't just use the argument that they're used to losing, but then forget that they've won a trophy. But both are true. Both are true. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm also right.
2 years, they are used to being 15th on average in the Premier League for a reason, because we're not as good as fans like you think we are.
Okay, but can I just ask you a question, please? Because I've been meaning to ask you this. Last season, right, I remember watching a lot of your streams, and almost every stream you would be putting up facts and stats and data, and I even told you, like, but I've not seen you once use. Well, can I just finish, mate, please?
That's a lie. You're about to say I don't use it this season. Look, here they are. They're ready. They're ready to go. You've lied again.
No, but you don't know what I'm about to say.
You just lie.
No, but you don't. You've not even let me finish, mate. I'm saying all of your stats, or not all of them, because you'll jump on me saying all, but a lot of your stats from last season were to berate Ange, rightly or wrongly. That's not that. No, but okay, but mate,
nothing
my point
has changed over 2 years. That's
but
why,
mate, this is the thing with you. Everything I say, you move the goalposts, because I remember also last. Can I just finish, mate? Can I just finish, please? Also,
Matt,
I remember last.
You stopped saying every sentence. I move the goalposts. Right?
Okay, okay, I won't say that again. I won't say it again.
2 years.
Okay, but mate. Okay, but you see, last season, I remember also, not even just last season, Ange's first season. I also remember telling you, Ange lost, in my opinion, the best Premier League striker to ever grace the Premier League, and you kept telling me Ange never ever had Harry Kane. But all of a sudden, can I finish, please? All of a sudden, this season now, you keep telling me, telling other fans that Frank hasn't got Son, who had X amount of XG. Frank hasn't.
Yes.
So why do you include Son's XG that we're missing? But I remember when I mentioned Ange didn't have Kane.
He still had Son.
No. Can I finish? You told me. When I used to mention Kane to you about Ange,
isn't it funny?
You said to me,
for someone that wants to do
you don't
a lot
let me
of
finish.
I told you
You
so.
see what I mean? You don't let me finish, and then
hang on,
tell me that I cut you off. Everyone in the chat can see you're not letting me finish.
Do I told you so's.
Everyone in the chat can see you're not letting me finish.
So why is that?
Huh?
How you dictated what we could only talk about? But
I've not even finished my point. You never even let me. I've not even.
I can bring up whatever I want.
I've not even finished, mate. I'm just literally talking. I'm just like, the chat can see you're not letting me finish. I'm just asking you.
The chat can say what they want, mate. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying that I remember saying to you that Ange lost the best striker, in my opinion, and you kept telling me that Ange never had Kane. Don't talk about Kane, blah blah blah. Sure. But all of a sudden, with Frank now, when Son's with Son, Frank never had Son, but you always use that Son's XG. Why? What's the difference?
Because, mate, if you've got at least one of them, you've got some stardust. This manager's got neither. Of course it matters. We didn't replace it. How is that not a point?
But who did we replace Harry Kane with?
Huh?
Who did we replace Harry Kane with, mate?
At least they got a striker in Solanke. I don't rate him.
We got Kudus.
He's the right winger. Who do we replace some with?
Odegaard, whoever. Whoever. Yeah, but that's my point. Yeah, but my point is, I agree with you that they're not the same level. But neither was Solanke for Kane, and you didn't want to. You didn't want to hear that.
Matt, no, you don't listen to what I say. Then this is the problem. And my point I was making just there is for somebody that was so adamant, and let's be fair, you whined like a little bitch in the chat, going, "I'll only come on if you talk about if you don't."
I mean, there's no need to get personal, mate. We're having a football conversation.
No, because do you know what?
Why do you have to get personal?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to mute you if you don't let me talk.
But you're just being rude for no
I'm muting him because he won't let me talk. I'm sorry. I can't. If he's not going to let me talk, right?
I've let you talk this
Oh
whole
my
time,
God,
but you're
right?
being rude.
I'm trying to talk, right? He sat there in the chat, right? You sat there in the chat and said, I'll only come on if we don't talk about Ange. Everything you've done is, Stava, you said last year, you said last year, you said last year, you said last year, you said this. So why are you allowed to bring up everything, but I'm only allowed to talk about one subject?
The only reason why I mentioned Andrew is because you started bringing up 3 to 5 years.
Because I'm using your theory against you. If managers need 3 to 5 years, this manager's had 4 months, one window of 2 first-team players and 2 loans, right?
Fair enough, but why was you questioning Andrew's tactics after 4 months, but not Frank's?
No one has said that Thomas Frank is doing a great job. But I also said in the summer, it's funny. What I've noticed is you don't bring up anything I've said about this season. I think that's hilarious. You go back to last year, you don't bring up this year. So this year, when I said in the summer, there's going to be a lot of shit show this year. There's going to be a lot of up and down. There's going to be a lot of boring football. There's going to be a lot that needs to be done. There's going to be... I've noticed you and the others don't bring that up. You just go back to last season. Now, as I said, Ange Postecoglou got it last year because he'd had £400 million and 2 years, right? The football hadn't progressed in the 2 years. It had got worse. Now, if Thomas Frank gets to the end of year 1 and we are not progressing, I will have the same energy that I had for Ange. Problem is, we are 4 months into his tenure where we have not replaced footballers in any way, shape, or form in a Champions League season, by the way. So, for example, when he didn't have Kane, but only had to play 1 game a week in the Premier League. We are now playing in the Champions League 2 games a week, have not replaced the players that we need to, right? He's come into a club where we finished 17th, are so used to losing games of football, and it was an absolute shit show. But as I said, fans like you go, in 4 months, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe if he wasn't coming into such an utter shit show, we would see more. Maybe if he'd had more than 1 transfer window, we would see more. Maybe if we had given him the £400 million that Ange had, we would see more. So, no, Thomas Frank isn't the greatest manager in the world. No, Thomas Frank isn't doing a good job. But yes, the players are still here that were shit last year, still doing a shit job, right?
I agree with you.
I'm talking. No, he is not the manager that is going to win you Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues. But no, we are not there or ready for it. So fans need to make their mind up. Right, you came on like an utter shit show at the beginning. 1 minute it's Glasner, the next thing it's Iriola, and this is the point.
No. But
why
are you changing my point?
I've muted him because I'm in a rant. I'm talking, right. If fans want to change what they want to say every 5 minutes, that is absolutely fine. Fans don't like it because I'm not changing every 5 minutes. I said,
you are.
No, I'm not. I said at the beginning of the year, this is going to take years, whoever gets the job. This is going to be years and years. Frank said it. Pundits are saying, this is going to take time and a lot of it. Now, you can replace Frank, do it. The next manager, it's going to take years, whoever that is. But this belief that a De Zerbi comes in, that an Iriola comes in, right? And everything changes. It won't. We have been getting worse and worse. And here's Matt saying, I don't put stats and data up. This is Tottenham for the last 2 calendar years. Look at it. It's an absolute mess. It's a shit show. In the last 3 years, our win percentage has gone 39%, 35%, 28%. Why? Because we are losing quality players. We are not replacing quality players. Yeah, and no manager is going to get time to make it right. Right?
I agree with what you're saying.
The problem is everyone says, right? Everyone says, but we won the Europa League. In terms of building a football club, that's not on the agenda. We've not built a team. We've not built a structure, an ethos, a philosophy, right? We've not done any of that, but everyone wants that in 4 months. So sack the manager is fine. I've said this. You've come on like I said, don't sack him. Sack him. But you, the other fans, you don't even know what you want.
I do know what I want. I've told you.
No, but you can't say I want an attacking manager or I want a winning manager. It's like
that's two options. Why?
What is it that you want?
Yeah, but I can't. But this is what I'm saying. Life is not black and white, mate. Sometimes you can have.
It is.
Yeah, but you're basically making out. Well, I have to either want one or the other. I've just given you two preferences. You're literally putting words in my mouth. I just said that I would either want an attacking philosophy manager or a manager that's proven. That's all I've said. I don't really understand how that is such a controversial thing.
What?
I told you with winning, at least winning stuff. But I just also want
to Steven Gerrard.
Well, no, thank you. But I just
right. No, you can't just gloss over that. Why not? Steven Gerrard's a winner. Why not?
No, I know. I'll answer that. But I just wanted to say I agree with your earlier point about the time and the money spent in regard to Thomas Frank and Ange Postecoglou. I agree with you, and I'm not comparing them in terms of their whole tenure. My problem with you is that you were criticizing and analyzing Ange's tactics, pure tactics. I never heard
2 years and £400 million.
No. I remember in Ange's first season, after the first few months, you talking about his tactics. Can you please tell us what you think about Thomas Frank's tactics?
Sure. Do you want me to answer?
Yes.
Sure. So the difference is that with Ange Postecoglou, he never, ever, ever moves away from those tactics of being gung-ho. The Celtic fans told you that. The Australian fans told you that. He doesn't move away from it. That's never going to work. What I have seen with Thomas Frank over the years at Brentford is he can develop into a team that scores loads of goals and attacks really, really well if he develops and has the time with the players. That is all I want to see at Tottenham. It's really not rocket science. Right?
You're not answering my question.
I literally just answered your questions. The tactics will evolve when he gets his own players. That is what I think will happen at Tottenham Hotspur. It's not that I think these tactics are great right now, but as I said in the summer, we don't have a ball-playing number 8. We don't have a top striker. We don't have a left winger. I'm not expecting a lot. Now, when Thomas Frank gets those footballers, I will be judging him a lot harsher than I am right now.
So what's the difference between now and Ange's first season? Ange's first season, he never had the players. I know what you said, but you're sidetracking my actual question.
I've just explained it to you.
No, I know, but my actual question is: you're saying when he gets the players, but I'm saying Ange's first season and the first few months, for example, the Chelsea game, you were analysing his high. You were analysing his high line, his tactics.
Yes.
That was before he had all of his players, like Frank has done. So I'm asking you now.
I've just answered this. I can't answer it again because
you've not said what his tactics are.
Matt, because he doesn't change from that and never has in his career. We knew that was never going to change. We have seen, I can't believe I've got to repeat this again that I've just said. I've literally just answered this question. For me, with Thomas Frank, the tactics you're seeing now are not what he was playing at the end with Brentford when they were more open and scoring lots and lots of goals. Right? My point
I know that, but I'm saying, what is his tactics? That's my question.
Oh my God, I've literally, oh my good God. I can't answer that again.
No, because you think because if you think I'm saying about what he's going to be, I'm saying what it is now. That's my question.
What it is now is we are seeing, can I answer?
Yeah.
What it is now is I think what he's wanting to do is get the ball to the wingers quickly and get balls into the box. Right? Because I don't think we've got a lot of creativity and we can't control a game in midfield.
Right.
What we will see is when he gets a better centre forward, a proper left winger, and somebody in midfield, I think that will slowly mould itself into being a little bit more controlled and a little bit more methodical rather than rushing everything into the box.
Okay.
I want to see that evolve over time. Now, again, I can't seem to get this, right, into people's heads, right? The difference is that we had 2 years to watch under Ange that we knew those tactics were never going to change. And you know the difference is Ange told us that would never change. Frank has told us he will evolve. People don't listen. Ange told us from day one, this is who I am. This is what I do.
Okay, can we analyse what Frank said?
Hang on.
Frank comes out in press conference and says, we're going to evolve. We're going to change. This is not what we're going to be. We need time. Ange told us from day one, this is who I am. Celtic fans told us, he ain't changing. This is it.
Frank told us we're going to only have 12 very good games in a year.
Which is probably true with the squad that we've got, yes.
Well, that's not the right mentality, please. I'm so sorry about that.
So you want a liar?
So no, it's not about I want to lie. You've always banged on about you worked at Premier League clubs. You think that's the philosophy of a Premier League manager in a top team to be saying
so
that.
You have not understood that at all, have you?
No, I have understood. It's about mentality. And what I'm saying is,
right?
he's at Tottenham Hotspur.
There are snowflakes that need to be lied to. Ange came out and said, we'll be challenging for the title. And I went, why would you say something that stupid? Why? People go, hope, belief. No, it was delusion. Thomas Frank has been honest with us, whether we like it or not. He's been honest.
So hold on. So let me just get this right. You actually agree with Thomas Frank because I don't think because Tom.
I wouldn't have said it.
Can I just get my point across, mate?
I'm not saying
Tom. That's my point. Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
The way that he said it, it did not even seem like he was talking about this season. He was kind of making that as like a blanket statement.
That's how you interpret it.
That is how I can only talk about.
What's that got to do with what we just talked about?
Because you just mentioned, right?
No. You asked about the tactics, and then you moved to press conferences.
No, because you just started talking about stuff that Ange used to say. So then I said, let's talk about Frank.
No, this is what you do. No, I was talking about what he said in regards to his tactics. Stay on track.
But
he has said about his tactics, this is who I am, mate. Yes. This is what we are. Right? And for 2 years, we saw him.
Yes.
Right?
But we saw him adapt also.
Hang on. No, we never saw him adapt.
In the Europa League, we did.
So you mean when he told Romero and Van der Ven to do what they want? That's adapting.
No, okay. I think that's just very silly. Now he wouldn't have just said to them, "Do what you want." Even Mickey Van der Ven said. Well, he didn't just say, "Do what you want." That's just common.
So let's go back to what my point was. Right?
Okay.
He told us from day one, "This is who we are. This is what we do. I don't change." Okay, cool. Let's see how that pans out. We saw how that panned out for the last 18 months of his Spurs career. We've never lost more games in Premier League history. We saw how that panned out. Now, Thomas Frank, if he doesn't adapt, I'm going to be really annoyed with Thomas Frank. The difference is we haven't had the time to see if Thomas Frank's going to adapt yet because he's not had all those transfer windows. He's not had all those summers. He's not had a year without European football, and he's not had the players he wants. So and this is why you're not arguing apples for apples. You're arguing apples for pears. If Thomas Frank gets the same as Ange and does the same as Ange, I'm going to be livid with Thomas Frank.
But I remember you. Sorry, Sam. I remember you also.
See, look.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to say anything what you think I'm going to say.
Do you know what I'm going to do, Matt, in a second? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring up every comment you've ever put in my chat.
You can do that, mate. But can I just say, this is not like to try and point score, but a point you made. But a point you did make. No, but mate, a point you did make before was true. You said that other clubs wouldn't have allowed Angepostecoglou to get to the position he got to. And I agree with you. So when you
didn't agree.
This is what I'm saying. You're not listening. I'm not saying that not me. I'm talking about other clubs.
This is a lie.
I'm not talking about me.
This is a lie. This is a barefaced lie. You didn't agree with me on that.
No.
You said he needs 3 to 5 years.
No. You're not getting my point. I didn't. I thought that Ange needed to stay. I'm saying I would have kept him. But what you said about other clubs, big clubs, were not allowing the manager to get that low in the league, I agree with that.
I still stand by that.
Yeah. That's my point. So I'm trying to say that we can't just say give Frank what Ange had because, like you said, that's not normal. If Frank is on the same trajectory as Ange, why would we just?
Ange was there after £400 million, 4 transfer windows in 2 years, Matt. This manager has had 4 months and 1 window whilst playing every 3 days. Do you not see the difference? These are
I do
not.
see the
You're not.
difference.
But you don't. You're comparing apples and pears.
No,
If
mate.
if Thomas Frank right now, right? If Thomas Frank right now wasn't in Europe, and this was exactly the same as Frank's as Ange's first season, you could compare. But right now, you've got one manager's walked in straight into Champions League football without a Champions League squad, playing every 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't had the chance to strengthen or anything or implement anything on the training ground. And we're judging him the same as Postecoglou, who had £400 million, 19 new players, 2 years. And the first year, they weren't any Europe. So they were training every single day on the training ground and he still didn't get anything out of them.
But you see, when you talk about
two different things.
I mean, I kind of disagree because I feel like
you can't disagree. They're facts.
Well, they may be facts, but what I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, Thomas Frank knew what he was signing up for, right? He knew what he was getting himself into. So I don't want to hear excuses about multiple games a week because Thomas Frank knew what he signed up for. So
that's not. But Matt, can I tell you, this is what I mean by when I say that football fans don't understand football clubs and how football works. He knew what he was signing up.
Mate.
Matt, you want Tyler Dibbling, Archie Gray, and I don't know how we can do that, right? But whether he knew what he was signing up for or not doesn't make the task easier. It's still a task that needs time. As fans, we knew what he was coming into. We know that he needs time, but no one wants to give them time.
Because he's not the right man. That's why, Savo.
But Matt, no one can tell me who is the right man and why they would be. It's all pie in the sky. It's all guesswork.
But it's the same with you with Frank. Frank's guesswork for you. You can't, there's no proof to say Frank's going to do anything.
That's the point.
Exactly.
That's the point. If we're going to do this, right, we have to do this after 4 months with the next guy as well, Matt. Right? This is the point.
No, we can't do this for every manager.
No, Matt. This is my point. You think I'm going to die on a hill for Frank? No. Let him have the time to show that it's not going to work and he's not the right guy is my point. Football fans don't want that because you say confidently he's not the right guy, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, confidently he's not the right guy.
Yes.
For one, no one can tell me the right guy for what, because you know why? Everyone's got a different expectation of what Spurs should be doing, right?
Yes.
For two, how can you not be the right guy when you haven't even had your own players to show, hey, this is what I do with my players and when I've had time to develop something?
0 green shoots.
Hang on. 3. Yeah, but green shoots don't always happen immediately. That's the point. With Pochettino, there weren't green shoots in the first 4 or 5 months.
I love this argument about Pochettino because the reason...
Let me finish. Right? With Pochettino at both Spurs and Chelsea, there weren't green shoots.
What about him at Southampton?
Oh, my God. Let me finish. Right? So we can sack Frank. You can bring in whoever you think is the right guy. And you know the problem with this, man, is the next manager that comes in, some of the fan base will say like you, this is the right guy. Some of the fan base will automatically go, this is not the right guy. Right? And there we go again. You'll have 4 months and all the ones who say he's not the right guy will go, nah, he's not the right guy. No time. Get rid of him. So when does the cycle end? When does this vicious cycle ever end if we want to give managers 1 window, 2 permanent signings and 1 summer? Where does this end?
I think it ends when we bring in a manager that at least the majority of the fan base can get behind. Because I mean, mate, I've told you my preferences, but I can't speak for the whole. I can't speak for the whole fan base because what you have to understand is that with so many fans, not everyone's going to agree. However, the problem with Thomas Frank is that there's so many people that think that this guy's Okay. This guy's name's used or something. He's just
Doesn't matter. He's
he's
bang
a
on about you. Doesn't matter.
he's a troll. He's a troll.
So
But
didn't
what
the
I was
majority of the
what
fan base
sorry.
get behind Conte?
Yeah, but you wanted. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. I didn't want Conte out. You did. That's my
I never
point.
wanted
This is
Conte
what I'm
in.
saying. You did.
I
Yeah,
never wanted Conte in
exactly. You didn't want
because
him.
he weren't right. Because you know why, Matt? You see when people like you say winners,
I wanted Conte.
right? You see when people like you say winners, right?
Yeah,
We're not set up to win. And this is the problem.
I
We've got
agree.
no, but you can't agree because you keep saying it matters that they're winners, they're winners, they're winners. What winners? What are we
Yeah.
set up to win right now? We've won one trophy in 17 years.
What was Palace set up to win last season?
So Palace's one anomaly season is now the benchmark for the argument?
No. I never said that. I just asked you a very basic question, mate. What was Palace set up to win last season?
What's that? Sorry, but again, you know when that guy just said this is the problem with the youth football fans? You can't seem to understand. If you want to build something, you're not using one season as your driver. Palace had a really good cup run. Brilliant, right?
Right.
So next season, if Glasner came in next season, finished 15th and won the FA Cup, are we saying that's good?
No, but mate, all I was trying to
Then
say is you
what
said
are
that
you
we're
saying?
not. Okay, my point was you said we're not set up to win, and the point I
Sure.
was trying to make was that a manager who is a winner can be in a team that is not always set up to win and can take them over the line. That's my point.
Sure, but this is the point. You again, micro, macro. If we're talking about micro getting over the line in a competition, or actually macro building the club to be successful to get over the line multiple times, there's a huge difference. Why did Conte not work here? Why did Jose not work here? This isn't rocket science. Our fans keep doing this. We must have a winner. We must have a winner. We must have a winner.
But I
Right?
just
Okay, hang on. No, I haven't finished. Right?
That's
We
not
must
me,
have a
though.
winner. That's great. But that is you. You come on here and said that, a winner. You said
No.
you either want attacking football or a winner. Okay, let's break that down.
Yes.
Iriola comes in. By the way, Iriola, whose teams can't stop losing games of football, but
Yeah.
sure plays nice football. Brilliant.
Yes.
That's where we're at with fans like you, Matt. Right?
And
Let's
who would you?
bring
So
in-
wait, hold on. When you say fans like me, who would you want then? So look,
Right.
let me. How about I flip it onto
No,
you,
listen.
because you always say fans like me. Say Frank was to say God forbid something bad was to happen to Frank now, and we had to bring in another manager. Who would you want?
And this is my point, Matt. I'm at the stage where I don't care. Because
No.
matter.
Don't take the easy answer out. Tell
No,
me a manager,
Matt,
because
let me finish
you
the
want to have a
question.
go at me.
You
You
asked
want
the
to have a
question.
go
Let
at
me
me.
answer it.
You want to have a go
You
at
asked me a
me.
question. Matt,
Yeah.
listen,
Okay.
this is my
Answer.
point. This is my point. I know that you people in your 20s are thick as shit, but you've got to listen a little bit, right? You've got to listen. Listen to what I'm saying. Spurs are at the stage now where what does it matter who the manager is unless the club act properly? So listen to what I'm saying. You can only do Ange v Frank, right? Everything you've judged me on stage, you said this about Ange, right? I want an attacking manager. Brilliant. I want to see attacking football as well, right? I've got nothing against Iriola. I've got nothing against Glasner. Listen to what I'm saying, Matt. I've got nothing against Glasner, nothing against Iriola, nothing against De Zerbi. You can bring in any of these. I am so happy to bring in any of these people if Frank goes. My problem is, Matt, we will be exactly the same if it's 6 months, a year, 18 months down the line, right? Because immediately you need to see it now because your generation now, 4
I've not
months
once
now.
said that. I've
No,
not once said
now,
that. Why
no,
are you
no, let me
lying?
finish.
But
Let me
you're
finish.
lying. You're literally
But I'm
lying
not
on
lying.
my.
You said I can't
A
see
minute
green
ago you
shoots.
said no.
You said
Last season
he said, I've muted him again. He said, I can't see green shoots. Thomas Frank's not the right man. Right? You said, these are things you've said in this show. He's not the right man. You can't see green shoots. We need a different manager. I've said, fine. Who is that right man? Yeah. Everybody's got a different idea of who that right man is. Why? Because the football club is a shit show. Right?
Agreed.
When I ask people, everyone I ask, you, whoever comes into my chat, the right man for what? No one can give me an answer because I want to build a football club. Some people want immediate, I want to win a cup this year or it's been a terrible year. Fine. We did that last year. The club's a mess. We won a trophy. The club is a mess. That winning that trophy was great for saying, hey, we won a trophy, but we're no further forward. We're a mess because it was a good cup run and the club has been built terribly. So I have tried to make this really clear, but people like you can't seem to get it in there. This isn't about who do I want as the next manager. It doesn't matter. We've had Jose and Conte as serial winners. We've had Harry and Poch who play great football. We've had Nuno and Frank who are more pragmatic managers. And the club is still a shit show because fans say flippant things like, is he the right man? For what? To get to where? For what stage? What's the plan? What's the process? Maybe it could be that a manager needs to get us to there, then leave, and then another manager gets us. So is he the right man for that or that? I don't know. But then when people tell me categorically, De Zerbi's the right man, brilliant. De Zerbi goes into every club and blows it up from the inside out because he's volatile. So now we want that. All right, Glasner's the right man because he's won things. Brilliant. So Glasner comes into his football club. By the way, I like Glasner. Glasner implements his wing-back formation, right?
Right.
Right? Implements his wing-back formation. Fans like you that have been sitting in the chat saying we want to watch attacking football, the first time Glasner's team has a bad run of games, it will be, oh, I don't care about the results.
Not for me. I wouldn't do that. Nope, I wouldn't.
You've already done it this season with Frank. I've seen it. You've already done it. You've already done it this season with Frank. I've seen it.
I'm sorry,
right? This is what our fan base does because we don't know where we are as a club.
Glasner is a winner. Thomas Frank is not.
So because Glasner's a winner and Frank is not, Glasner would be able to come in and play really pragmatic, boring football we can lose.
No, what I'm saying is if Glasner was to be at the helm, okay,
right,
and we were losing, I still would have trust that given time, given time,
this is guys, Matt has just proved everything I said about Spurs. As long as the guy that comes in, as long as he's won something before, it doesn't matter if he loses loads of games.
I never said that. I know. Why are you changing my words? I literally just said that there's two things I want. Either I would want a manager with an attacking philosophy that can help build the club, build the academy, and this kind of
you also want Glasner, whose football isn't that.
No, I know, but I said if we can't get that, so what I'm saying, when I said you want me to give black or white, you said no, and then now you're basically saying this.
Exactly right, exactly, mate. He said that exactly. This is why I'm calling him out. See, these people, like what Matt is saying now, they keep saying Glasner. They keep saying Glasner. Glasner's teams are very pragmatic and boring, right? So if Glasner was here, not winning games and playing pragmatic and boring football, they're now pretending I wouldn't mind because he's won before.
But you saw me, but you saw me last season under Ange. So why would I not do it to Glasner?
Under Ange, what? He didn't play any time.
No, as in like you saw me back in Ange because I believed that he would win us a trophy, and he did, and that's what my point is with Glasner. So I'm not just saying this. I'm being honest.
So how long would Glasner get to win a trophy playing boring football?
Well, I mean, if he's, it's a good question.
Is winning one trophy more important to you than building a football club to be sustainable?
Over building a football club, give me a time premise. What kind of time premise?
For the future, for building to be a proper football club that don't have to have these rows every year.
No, I know, but I mean, like, would I take one trophy or building for 10 years? I'd take one trophy.
Okay, and here's the
difference.
You
have to give me like a kind of like if for example if we're gonna be building, for example, like for 3 years, but then after 3-4 years, maybe in the 5th year we could be challenging, then I would probably say I'll take that. But if I know that in 5 years, 10 years time,
and this is the difference with the young fans, no one wants time and patience to build something. We're more concerned.
I just said 5 years.
We're more concerned.
How is 5 years not time?
We're more concerned about win. This is a team.
I literally just said I would give them 5 years.
This is a team that have won one trophy in 17 years. Look how our fans talk, right? Guys, this is my point. I have said it over and over again. Fans like that don't listen. They don't listen to what I say. right? Oh, it's the easy answer to say who you want as a manager. Well, at this stage, what does it matter? If the club aren't going to back them, why do I care who the next manager is? If the club are not going to back the manager, why on earth does it matter who the next manager is? That's my point. And then you say to me, that's the easy answer out. But what does it matter? We will be sitting here next year doing the same thing. Those that like a manager, those that like a manager will want to give them years. Those that don't will immediately want him out, like we do with Frank already. And then the new manager comes in. Right now, Thomas Frank has players from 6 different managers.
But what if we back Frank and then things go pear-shaped?
Then it goes pear-shaped. Then it goes pear-shaped.
Doesn't that set us back
even 25 years?
But doesn't that set us back another few years in our building process?
What? Set us back from what?
Aren't we trying to build?
But you don't want to build, Matt, because your answer is win now.
No,
you don't want to build.
I never said that. This is what I'm saying. Why do you keep literally lying? I've never said that. I literally
said you want to build. You keep talking about winning a trophy.
Mate, I was literally saying last season, give Ange 3 to 5 years. I don't think you're getting my point. I'm saying
I get your point. Okay, you're all over the place with it.
I want to give a manager time to build. However, I need to see
down the line you want him out.
You're not letting me finish. Just don't let me finish.
Well done, Matt.
I'm saying I want to at least see some signs. I'm not saying I need Frank to be playing blistering football.
So can we give him some time to show you those signs?
No, I understand, but I'm saying that in this season so far, it's been so bad that
this is the squad that your manager built. Yeah,
my manager, not your manager.
No, he's not my manager.
So why is he mine?
Because you backed him to the hill. Every game we lost last year, you backed him. This year, manager out 4 months. It's crazy. This is what I mean, and that is why. When you sit there and say you want to build, you didn't. Last year, you didn't want to build under Ange. You just wanted to actually. No, hang on. But no, you couldn't have, because building isn't just having a good cup run. Building is over 2 years. What did we see him build? Nothing. We got worse.
He built a mentality, and this is what I've noticed. Sometimes sometimes in life there's tangibles and there's intangibles, right? So,
guys, I've got to wrap up the show. Matt, I can't. You've just talked about mentality when his team lost 26 games in a year. He didn't build a single mentality. Stop. I'm not going into this. Sorry. 26.
Okay. So us winning our first European trophy is not a positive thing to you. Okay, fair enough. Because
and again, Matt, and again, this is what I say about people of your generation. That is not the sentence that came out my mouth, but look what you've done to it.
But that's what my point was about, though. The mentality with winning the trophy.
He's built a mentality.
With winning the trophy, that's my point. We hadn't won for 17 years, so winning trophy.
And Van de Ven and Romero had to go to him and say, "We've got to change to win." So they built the mentality.
You weren't privy to all the conversations, but it's like I said, I think it's so funny.
22 league defeats. What mentality is that?
22 league
defeats. Answer that one question. Just answer that one question. 22 league defeats. What mentality is that?
Well, we're 14th now, and we're 14th now, and you're accepting that. So, what mentality are you accepting?
Because we're going to try and build moving forward. That was after 2 years of Ange.
But you don't want to build, though, because last season when we won the trophy, we could have built off of that, but you didn't want that. You said Frank would come in.
Because the league form for 18 months was horrific. How could you
not see that? And what about
our
league form now?
Because he's had 4 months. How are you not getting that?
So do you think we should be? So you think we are where we should be? Is that what you're saying?
I am not saying that. I'm saying that we need time so that he can build and grow. And you know what? The funny thing is, Matt, that isn't just to Thomas Frank. That will be my narrative for the next manager as well. Whoever comes in is going to need more than 4 months to change it around. The problem is, everything you're saying is hilarious. The mentality that Frank has to change is the mentality that the last manager built which was that losing is acceptable. And yet we've got fans sitting here going, he built a winning mentality. No, he had a good cup run, right?
What mentality do you think Frank is building, though? Have you not heard the
He's
things
had
he's been
4
saying?
months. He's
I
had
know,
4 months.
I know, but I'm saying
Matt,
we can
Matt, I'm going to
only
win this. Matt, I'm
we
going to
can
win this
only go off
because,
what he
as I
says.
said,
What we can
please
only go
never
off of what
work
we've
at a
seen.
professional football club.
We can only
If
go
you
off of
think,
what we've seen. You can't
if
keep
you
saying it's
think,
only 4 months. We can only judge what we see. You can't
yes,
keep
because
saying that argument.
changing.
It's
Right, Matt,
very childish.
have you ever managed a team at work?
No.
Right. When you manage teams, right, you come into something that is an absolute mess or a shit show, and the mentality isn't there. Overnight, they don't just all go, oh, wow, my mentality is amazing. This is great. We've built this. This is implemented. It takes time. You need to weed out those that don't work. He hasn't had the chance to do that yet because he's only had one transfer window, right? He needs time to weed those players out, bring the players in that will have the mentality he wants, work out who can get with his mentality and those that can't. So when fans are going, we've not seen the mentality change in 4 months, that's because, Matt, for the last 3 years, our mentality has gone win rate, win rate, win rate. And he's got to turn all of that around. That takes years.
I agree
That
with
takes
everything you're
years.
saying.
But you
I
don't
agree.
agree because you're
No,
giving him 4 months.
Sava, I agree with everything you're saying. However, the only thing for me is I just need to see something. If I
Like
can see
what?
something, either good attacking, good defensively, good,
Can we
just
buy
something.
good attackers and good defenders to make that happen then?
Well,
Are we allowed to
we
do
have
that?
one of the best back lines in the league. I mean,
No,
why
we
are you?
don't. No,
Listen, how many teams have better back lines than us in the Premier League right now?
sorry, Porro and Adogi.
No,
They're not
answer my
even
question.
fullback.
Answer my question. How many teams in the Premier League have a better back four than us right now? Please tell
Many
me.
teams.
Okay.
Arsenal, Man City, Villa,
Yes.
Chelsea, Liverpool.
Oh, wait, hold on, Villa.
Sunderland.
Wait, hold on. You're going for Villa. How many of Villa's players getting our back four? Go on, let's go through it.
Sorry, Villa have conceded 18 goals.
No,
this
I
season.
don't care about that. I'm asking you, how many of Villa's players are going in our back four right now? Who are you taking from Villa's back four?
Straight away, Matty Cash and Luca Digne. Straight away.
Okay, so that's half. 50-50.
Right? Okay, half. But the difference is, again, Romero, good player, but has stinkers. When I watch the Villa centre halves, I don't see these stinkers every 3 or 4 games.
Okay.
You know, and this is the difference, Matt. This is the difference, right? There is a difference between building something that really works, right, and taking time to build it. And there is the difference between people like you that go, player for player, we're better. Why is Porro better than Cash? Why is Digne worse than Adogi? What has Romero done that's actually better than Concert and Mings?
Consistently, you're being silly.
Listen, consistently, what do those 2 centre backs do wrong? So they may not be the glamorous, sexy name. They built a good partnership.
That's because of the system that they're in.
Listen, they build a good partnership and they just get it done. Now, Romero on his day is brilliant. How many times we see Romero have shit shows under Conte, under Nuno, under Ange, under Frank? Why?
I agree with you. I agree with you, Romero.
But you've just said we've got one of the best back fours in the league.
No. You know, I said no. I said that our back four is better than majority of the teams in the league. That's a fact.
Based on what?
Well, I mean, what do you mean based? Okay, so based on what is Matty Cash better than Pedro Porro?
Watch him play. He can defend. Watch
our players play. I can just say that as well.
Yes, but that's why I'm saying it's not good. Watch them play. Adogi's not a good left back. Porro's not a good right back.
Yeah, but we know that our 2 centre backs are 2 of the best centre backs in the league. That's the point I'm making.
Again, I keep hearing this. Based on what? Because for the last 3 or 4 years, these 2 have been together. We lose game after game after game and can see goal after goal after goal.
Okay, can I ask you a straight question? Would you take Ezri Konsa and Mings over Van de Ven and Romero? Yes or no?
Right now, yes.
Crazy.
Right now. Because do you know, but this is the difference, right? Consistency is everything in football. Consistency is everything. Whenever I watch Villa, right? Whenever I watch them play, their centre-backs, no nonsense, 7 out of 10 defenders, get it done. When I watch Spurs, Romero's either brilliant or shit. It's so erratic. We need consistency, and this is the problem. This is the problem. Look how much our fans overrate every one of our players, right? Villa are strong in midfield. They score goals, and they're really good at the back. They've got a top goalkeeper as well, right? I see you sit in chat rooms, right? I see you sit in chat rooms saying we've got a better squad than Villa.
I've never said that. When have I ever
Yes,
said
you
that?
have.
I've
I've
never
seen you
said
say
that.
it loads of times.
Go on, bring up that comment. Go on, bring it.
I've seen you say it loads of times.
I've never ever said that. You're lying.
You
You're
say we
literally
should be
lying.
finishing higher than Villa.
I've never said that. I've never ever said that. Why would you? You're literally barefaced lying. I've never
No,
even.
I'm
I don't
not.
even.
Matt, we all
I
see the
don't even
things you say
talk
in the
about
chat.
Aston Villa. I don't even
Listen,
talk about Aston Villa.
people haven't listened. It's not about the 1v1. I'm saying right now, from what I've seen, if I was to pick a pairing, it would be those two that work and just get it done. Individually, I think Van der Ven is better than what they've got. Individually, I think Romero's better than what they've got. But the problem is those two work. And again, people see again, look, people don't listen. People are dumb. This is the problem, Matt. People are dumb and don't actually listen to what's being said, right? If you build the right squad with the right mentality, it now stops becoming about who's better 1v1, right? You build a
And
team.
the right system as well.
And you know what? We have not built that team or that system over the years. And we are not allowing anyone to build that.
Yeah, but
Right?
I agree with you to an extent. But I just think we have to agree to disagree. The same way that you
Agree to disagree on what?
just on the manager, because I think that the manager is a big part of the issue.
So fine. If you're Frank out, I'm happy
Well,
with
I'm
that.
not. To be honest with you, I'm not actually completely frank out.
No, come on, see, come on. No.
No,
Come on.
I'm being honest.
Pick a lane.
No,
Pick a lane.
I'm not because I actually like Thomas Frank as a person. I actually think he's a nice guy.
So all of this show, you have belittled and berated Frank, but you can't say Frank out. Grow a pair.
No, mate. What I'm saying is,
grow a pair. By the way, Aaron, if you keep doing this, I'll just block you. That's not what I said. Listen to what I said. Listen to what I said. It's ridiculous how many people can't listen. Are you Frank in or out? Simple.
It's not about Frank in and Frank in or out.
Guys,
basically,
right? He's just spent an hour of our lives belittling Thomas Frank, saying he's not the right man, telling you he wants someone else. When I say, are you Frank in or out? Oh, I'm neither. I mean, that Spurs fans in a nutshell. You know why? Because what if Thomas Frank gets some players and turns this around? He'll have nowhere to go.
But that's what I was just about to.
Say Frank out.
No, but this is what I was just about to say.
Say Frank out.
But I was just about to say that the transfer window is around the corner. The transfer window is around the corner. I don't know what's going to happen. So if, for example, we were to get a few quality signings and Thomas Frank was to turn it around, I would literally turn around and say, you know what, Thomas Frank has shown me what I've always been asking him to do. And then I'll say, yeah, let's kick on. That's my point.
And why would that be? Why would that be, Matt? You've just answered your own question. Yeah, why would you listen? Everybody, again, I'm gonna call him out.
Yeah, but my point is I don't think it's gonna happen.
Hang on, I'm talking, right? This is my point.
I don't think it's gonna happen. That's
right.
The point.
This is my point, guys and girls in the chat, right? Listen,
you keep trying to paint a narrative.
Let's analyze the 2 points that he has just made there before we wrap up. Let's analyze those 2 points. One, if we buy quality players in the window and Frank turns it around, I'll say that's what I wanted to do.
And I said I'll get it right. I got it wrong.
I'm talking, right? But that would show that he's done that because he's. Oh my good God! Shut up. That would show that. Funnily enough, you give the manager more quality players, things can change, right? Now he's saying if he don't get those players in, he won't be wrong. But then that will show that he needed the quality to make it happen. And you know the funny thing about this, people?
And what if you're wrong?
Do you know the funny thing is about this, people? That's how you know this isn't about Thomas Frank. This is about any manager that comes to this club needs to be given the quality of players, right? This is my point. So when people like Matt go, don't take the easy route. What manager do you want? What manager does it matter if you don't give them the quality. It doesn't matter. What do we expect? Let's say Iriola comes in right now, guys and girls. Iriola, somebody who can't win a game of football for love nor money this season, by the way. Iriola comes in, plays better football. Sure, great. I concede that. If nothing changes, what are these fans then going to say about Iriola? You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, he'd only done it at Bournemouth. He's not a winner, right? Because it is the quality. If we don't get the quality in, nothing at this club changes. Think about the long term. Everybody, people, so many fans like Matt can only think about now, this 4 months, this 6 months. Think about the bigger picture. How do we build and grow if we do not give a manager quality players?
When I was saying about giving Ange 3 to 5 years, you said no. Why does he deserve 3 to 5 years? And
Sure,
I know
because he had
can I
2
finish?
years and it got worse.
You know, honestly,
It's not rocket science.
you're actually the biggest hypocrite. You just don't even let me finish. I can't even get a word out without you cutting me
Call
off.
me hypocrite on my show again, you're going to get thrown off. But go for it.
Well, I mean, like you literally just mute me when you mute me when
you
mute me, and then you're making faces, and then you talk about my age. You're 40, and you're just making faces at me.
Anyway, guys, right, I'm going to end the show now. Listen, again, look, this is what we get. He was the manager of Brentford, and now he's being ripped apart because of his average league position. Think like this is madness. This is madness, right? It is madness. As I said, and unfortunately, Matt isn't intelligent enough to understand it. Sack the manager, but he proved my point within the first 5 minutes of being on the show. Aaron, you're getting blocked as well. See you later, mate. You've done nothing but cuss me all show. See you later. Right? We're going to wrap up the show now. Right? We're going to have to wrap up the show, but this is the problem, right? Spurs fans don't know what they want. Don't know what they want. Tell me the manager you want. I want free-flying attacking football or Glasner. What does that... So you don't know what you want. Like you don't know what you want. And this is why, right? This is why I ask, what is it you want? And this is why these are the people saying Frank out, right? Sure. But what do you want? Oh, I want this, and this. So you don't know what you want, right? Yeah, but at least I can write a sentence. Matt have one NGL. Mate, you can't even spell. Sorry, mate. And this is the problem, Ben. Children like Matt, and this is the point I was making. He kept going, why did you judge that? Ange had 2 years, £400 million and 19 new footballers. This manager has had 4 months and 1 window. But I've got to have the same energy now as I did after 2 years of seeing us do that. As I've said to people 1,000,000 times, right? 1,000,000 times. If nothing changes and nothing improves, I will have the same energy. But let him have his transfer windows first, please. That's all I've ever asked. Let him have his transfer windows. That's all I've ever asked. I've never asked for him to be the manager of this club for 5 years. And this is the point, Rain. I'm trying to just lay it out in layman's terms of how simplistic it is. I've not said he should be here forever. I have acknowledged he will be sacked if results don't change. But Matt just completely showed, whenever you are Spurs fans, so what do you want? Right? Whenever you ask that, they change their mind every 5 seconds. 1 minute, it's about the manager. Sorry, 1 minute, it's about winning. 1 minute, it's about the style, because they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. As I said, Matt's excuse there. I want to see good football. We see him. Everyone sees it every week in the chat. Then pulls out Glasner. Okay, so I say, so if Glasner loses week in, week out, playing boring football, do you want to keep him? Well, yeah, because I know he wins. Right. So you don't mind losing every week to win a trophy. Like these fans don't know what they want. Let him build, let him grow. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's that simple. But 4 months. 4 months. That's all I've asked. I can't believe it. I ask you lot, if you go into a new job and you get given 4 months and you're told you've not changed everything immediately, you're sacked. It's madness. Absolutely, Gary. And if Klopp comes in, he needs time to sort it out. Absolutely. And this is the point. But he's not had any time. When you say more time, he's had 4 months. That's not time. That's not time. I'm just more than anything, I'm just so baffled by people who don't understand. 4 months. We all want to believe, but you've got to build that to believe it. Like, he built a winning mentality. The geezer had our worst ever Premier League season, and we're saying that he built a winning mentality. And Clay, I agree with you 100%. 100%. The fans won't allow him the time to do it. That's the point. So if that's the case, then the club made the wrong appointment. Sack him. I don't care. Sack him. I'm ready for this in 4 months' time. And I want you guys to remember, when Frank is sacked, remember everything you're reading in these chat rooms. Remember everything you're hearing from those YouTubers who want him gone. Remember everything you're hearing from people like Matt. Because I will be going after 4 months and saying, right, come on. Oh, why are we not brilliant? Why are we not top 4? What's gone on? Or maybe could it just be that we need some new footballers and to give someone some time? Imagine Klopp had 4 months at Liverpool. Imagine Pep had 4 months at Man City. Imagine Emery had 4 months at Villa and Howe had 4 months at Newcastle. It's madness. It's absolutely madness. And this is why I'm so desperate to get people to understand what I'm saying. This isn't about dying on a hill for Thomas Frank. This is about the next manager's going to go through this as well after 4 months. And again, people just making stuff up. But Frank has lost the players' trust and upsetting the fans. And we said this about Conte. We said this about Jose. We said this about Nuno. We said this about Ange. Who are we not saying this about? The players, for me, will do this with the next manager as well. If they don't get removed and replace them. This is what fans like this are not understanding. What players trust? What the players that lost 26 games last year, they're the play. So nothing to do with them. No, but this is not the point. This is not true. This is not true. Pep Guardiola bought a team and won, right? Bought a team and won, right? Eddie Howe was not a winning manager when he went to Newcastle. So that, again, is not his point. Think about it, what you've said there. That wasn't Matt's point. He's all over the place. Okay, let's do what Leverkusen did, right? What does that mean? Of course, Jim, because everything you say about me every day is against me. I see every day. So Matt can win. I don't care about winning or losing a debate, but you think Matt wins a debate because he picks every style of manager he wants and says they'll all do well, right? That he wants to give Ange, who loses 26 games in a year, 3 to 5 years, but Thomas Frank can only have 4 months, right? He also wants to buy Tyler Dibblings and Archie Grays. I want to buy better players. Sure. Exactly. Poch had to remove the players. We're not even going to give Frank the time. And exactly, Jordan. Frank has lost Richarlison, Odegaard, Graham. Right, exactly. So Ange hadn't lost the players, losing 26 games, but Frank has lost them. Like, it is utterly mad. We need Emery or Howe, not a mid-table manager. So funny though, because I remember when we wanted Howe 4 years ago and everyone like you said, no, he's not good enough. Isn't it funny? So we don't allow managers to get to that stage. Anyway, okay, let's just, again, this guy says some ridiculous stuff. Yes, that's how you get trust. Arsene Wenger was really shit, wasn't he? Jose Mourinho was really shit. Klopp, really shit. Have I just named 3 serial winning brilliant managers who weren't massive players at the high level? Oh dear. Big up to Nick. So Merry Christmas, Sava. I think Matt might turn up at your house tonight just wearing a Santa hat. Listen, Matt's all over the place. You've got to remember, I see every one of Matt's comments, and everything he's saying this year is completely different to last year, even though this manager's had 4 months. This is why I laugh. Every game this year is, I want to see good football. Now I want Glasner. Doesn't know what he wants, mate. Doesn't know what he wants. And the problem is, all of those in the chat just going, Matt won that. Matt won. Of course they think Matt won that because he just says everything. If you say everything, you don't have an opinion. If you say everything, you don't have a set opinion. Big up to you. Thank you, Nick. Really appreciate that. Big up to Ethan. Said, love to you and the family, mate. Love to you as well, my man. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. Thanks, Ethan. Big up to Emma Morton. So Merry Christmas to you and the wife. Merry Christmas to you, Emma, and yours as well. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Really appreciate that. John Smith said, I think Johnson goes to Bournemouth and we get Savio. I hope so, mate. I hope so. I really think players like that will make a huge difference, Josh. Thank you so much, mate. You've come in again and said, let's not ignore Ange, 0% win rate at Forest. But again, this doesn't, again, people just miss that. People just miss that. Daniel Field, big up for the super sticker. Really appreciate you, mate. Happy Christmas to you. Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate that. Josh Smith. Oh, yes, sorry, I've done that one. Big up to you. Big up to Jordan Coys. So generous to me. Said if a chef doesn't have the ingredients, it's utterly pointless asking who the right chef is. If we want a Xavi, we need to give him the ingredients to play good football. So this is my point, Jordan. I'm happy to bring in Xavi, right? But you're going to have to give him the ingredients. But fans like Matt will turn around after 4 months and go, this isn't working, get rid of him. It's mad. Big up to you, my man. You come in again, very generous, and said in each of the last 3 full Premier League seasons, we've conceded over 60 goals with these same defenders and goalkeeper. Frank has just had to take that on, yet fans moan. Mate, this is the point. Again, people like Matt jump on and go, we've got one of the best defenses in the league. Based on no evidence at all. Based on nothing. No evidence, no fact, nothing. For years and years, we concede goals. But now we've got a really good defense. It is madness. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you, Jordan. Really appreciate you. Big up to Ben. Thank you so much. So Merry Christmas. Enjoy it, Sava. I'm about to go and eat loads of food. So big up to you. Thank you, Ben. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Paul Langley, for the super sticker. Really appreciate you as well. You guys are very, very generous to me. And guys, right? Again, this is the point. Listen, I like Matt. He's funny. But I just, as I said, as I thought when he comes on, he doesn't stick to an opinion. Which manager do you want? All of them. Brilliant. How long do you want to give a manager? Well, this one 4 months, that one 5 years. Okay, brilliant. Enoch aren't very good and bought bad players. Okay, but this manager should be doing better with, like, if you say everything, you say nothing. And by the way, this is funny. Where's this? Hang on, I saw a comment. It's funny. So that guy, right, but this is my point. By the way, Company is not a top manager, but neither is Arteta. But you can be a top player or not. That's the point. Jose wasn't. Klopp wasn't. Right? It just goes to show. Gerrard, top manager. Is he? Because he was a top player. And agreed. The worst squad in my lifetime. But it's not the same now. The tactics aren't the same. I absolutely despised Ange's tactics because we lost 26 games in the season. If Frank loses 26 games this season, I will despise those tactics as well. This is somebody, again, who doesn't actually listen. Notice, no picture, stupid name, says stupid things. Much love all. Let me see if anyone's live that I can send you over to. I just wish people would listen. That's all I ask, is that people listen. I will base Thomas Frank the same if he'd had 2 years and £400 million. But he hasn't. Right. Who's live? I'm going to send you over to Rants and Bants. He's live with Saeed. When you get over there, just say Sava Raid or Fhtv Raid and just tell them that Sava says Happy Christmas. Much love. Hope you all have a great day. All I want is people to be consistent. Just be consistent. Much love. Go and enjoy your days. I am as well. And as always, come on, you Spurs. And the last thing I'll say is all the people that go, oh, but you said this, you said this, you said this to Matt. You wanted that drama, didn't you? That's what you wanted. Just fold the club at this point. No, there is hope, but we need time and patience. But you don't want to give patience. Patience. You need some patience. So we either have the patience or we don't. If it doesn't work, we change manager. But let's have some patience. Take care, everyone. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.